STP. Not STP. Sour Girl, everyone. Good morning. Jim Norton in studio. Sherrod Small in studio.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys?
It was a good song. I like that song.
Did you really like that song?
It mellowed me out.
Yeah, it was a little too chill to start the radio show, but, you know, every once in a while I gotta chill out a bit, right?
I was dreaming about your beach house when I was hearing it.
Yeah, keep dreaming. Enjoy that dream.
Are you saying there'll be no invite?
Enjoy that dream.
Black man don't need an invite to come to your house.
That is true.
That is true.
Show right up.
Jim Norton, how was your birthday yesterday?
It's good. Mars doesn't spray these anymore?
It smells?
Yeah, it does. I've said nothing into it, so it ain't me.
No, really?
Yeah.
Who uses that mic?
Somebody over the weekend. It's
I saw a homeless man rubbing up against it when I came in.
They couldn't have smelled this bad.
Take off the thing there. Take off the...
No, leave it on. Where's Mars?
Yeah, I'm getting him.
They usually spray these things.
Yeah. The worst part of this job, it's not really a job, but the worst part is smelling someone else's bad breath on these things.
Oh, yeah.
It's
terrible.
disgusting.
It happens in comedy. You can smell
Oh, the mic.
the microphone.
Dude, I can't even think about
I
that.
remember Kerry Karavis used to spray it down every time she got on stage.
Who was the,
You can't even tell whose it is. There's so many
Oh,
guys.
come
in front
on.
of
You guys know.
You don't know. You don't, because you're on
don't wanna
different
name
people
names.
every night.
But when
Literally.
you're at the cellar and you're at that tiny little table, you know who smells and who doesn't.
Well, it's more the mic than it's like, not at the table, I don't smell it at all, but if you smell the mic some nights, it's like, who ate salami and vomited on the mic?
Yeah, it's or a regular mic where you don't know the other
God.
guys. It's just the microphone smell. They all smell the same.
Yeah.
It's dried spit, and you look sometimes into the microphone, you see like a hunk of food or something.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's terrible.
And you guys don't have the screens on them.
No, the smart guys carry their own mic. Do you not realize every night what we're talking into? Sometimes I try not to think about it.
Oh, God. Dry cum that shoots out of the mouth.
My mouth?
Well, I was being nice today because it was your birthday yesterday.
Yeah, it's really gross, man. You're talking to those things like, ugh.
Particles of food.
Yeah. Fucking
Particles of flu. Phlegm. Cum.
terrible, dude.
Salami, like Sherrod said.
They really need to clean them every day, every night, twice a day.
Yeah.
You need a windscreen or whatever the hell these things are called. How was your birthday, Jimmy?
It was uneventful. I flew home yesterday. I was in New Mexico. I had a great gig for that. There was a benefit, and the crowd was excellent. And I forgot they were all O&A fans. For some reason, I wasn't thinking that they were all radio fans. I didn't do any like the chip stuff at the end. They're all like, "Where the fuck was?" I'm like, I forgot.
I forgot.
It's like a benefit. I didn't think that people were fans. I just thought they were coming out for the cause.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll just see this stranger.
I know my lack
You're
of
not a
self-esteem
stranger anymore.
is really.
Oh my God, Jimmy, you're not a stranger.
But it was excellent.
You're a big star.
I'm a pretty moderate nobody, but it was an amazing weekend. It's one of the best weekends I've had in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, I was by myself. I hung out with. I never hang out with people I don't know, but I hung out with a couple of guys who were involved in the place that we were doing the benefit for. Just went out to eat. It was really a good weekend.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, it was a very.
It was Albuquerque? That's what.
Albuquerque, yeah. And it's a good place. I went and toured the facility and met the residents, and they're all very nice, and yeah, I was happy to do it.
Yeah, it's for a great cause too.
Yeah, people who are just kind of cleaning up, and they're hard cases, man. They're people that are fucking really far down, but they're doing good.
Right.
Like, they're in this place now. It's long term.
That's
and
good
it's
to
not,
know.
It's not some of these like places like rehabs where you go in and they just bleed you dry. This is not one of those places. These people have no money and they're taken care of.
Wow.
So I was really happy to do it, and I came home yesterday, and just fucking flew all day. And then went to dinner.
Flew all day on your birthday. That sucks.
I know. I didn't mind, though. I was like, you know what? My birthday stinks anyway. So I went out to eat with just a friend. I was like, what am I going to do? I took a friend of mine, went out to eat, and a fan bought me dinner, which was, I wasn't. It was,
what?
This guy, TJ, I think, right?
Yeah.
From Texas. We're eating, and we're done eating, and I'm like, all right, I had a little piece of cake for my birthday. I'm like, oh, big boy, have some cake. Once a year. And nothing worse than when you're eating something you don't normally eat, and you tell people, no one gives a shit.
No one cares.
I normally wouldn't. You're the waiter, you don't care.
That usually means you do it all the time.
Yes.
And the guilt has gotten to you to the point like, oh, man, I haven't had a hot dog in months.
Meanwhile, you're eating it every day.
Of course you are.
exactly.
But we're not eating the hot dog, just kind of drinking the water, which I enjoy.
What kind of cake was it?
It was coconut cake.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's not bad for you.
Yeah, no, it was so good.
That's not bad for you?
I mean, chocolate or something like that might be a little heavier than coconut.
It was very light. I was surprisingly light.
Coconut has antioxidants that can help your body.
We sound like really old hens. Oh, it was a light piece of cake. I was not even feeling guilty. You think I would have?
They really hate when we talk like this. They really do. Because it doesn't make sense. I've been doing radio since I was 18. Radio guys are fat fucking slobs in general.
Yeah,
They're
usually.
just fucking pigs.
They're big boys.
Gluttons.
When the camera's not pointing at you, you say, fuck it, why not?
Drinking, smoking, and just eating like shit.
We get that food for free in the morning, too.
Right.
Like a lot of these guys, I'm on the road, like the Friday morning funnies or whatever they're doing, and they have like donuts and all these local places give them shit to talk about the place on the air.
It's so hard to say no to that.
It's almost impossible. I mean, if you're in there for 20 minutes, it's not bad, but if you're doing it day in, day out, and they're bringing pizza, how do you... So, but it was weird. They're like, "Oh, your check's been picked up."
Nice.
And I'm like, and it was like the guy at the table right next to us, and it was very nice of him.
Did you feel obligated to talk to him for a while after that?
Well, he was literally right. I said hello. I thanked him. He said he's coming to a show in Dallas. I'm like, well, do you have tickets? He's like, yeah, no, I got tickets. And we just took a quick photo. Him and his wife, they were very mellow.
I don't like when people pay for my meal because then I have to talk to them.
Then you
got to
talk. Yeah, that's awful.
And
He wasn't overbearing.
Then it's awkward, and then in your mind you're like, well, did I spend enough time? Yeah, I think I did. All right, well, thanks for listening to the show.
He's like,
brother.
fuck you, man. I bought you waffles.
No,
Yeah, no,
actually, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
was fine.
fucking around.
He was cool. He didn't seem to want a lot of time. He was with his wife. We just took the photo and talked for a minute. And he seemed genuinely nice. I mean, I'll see him in Dallas when I'm there.
Well, I want to take Jimmy to Yasuda for your birthday.
Yeah, I would like some sushi.
Yasuda.
You ready to do some sushi the
Yeah,
right
it's
way?
just sashimi. I just eat sashimi. I'm not eating the rice. And
You have to eat the rice.
You don't
Maybe
eat the rice.
You gotta
I
eat the
haven't in a
rice. They got
while.
the rice there is amazing. You've never had rice like this.
Really?
Yeah, I thought rice was good until I went to Yasuda. Yeah. It's one of those places where one guy has to deal with the rice for 10, 15 years before he can move on before he could touch the fish.
yeah,
They
it's a
got
big
lot of
day in that
rules,
world.
You saw that documentary,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It bored me. I love sushi. That fucking bored me. That guy.
I was ready to say some people are bored by that documentary, and then I realized, oh, that's right, Jimmy was bored by that documentary.
Yeah, I was bored.
I thought it was an art piece.
It was
that
interesting to
movie.
me. Yeah, it was interesting.
Just the slow-mo and then brushing the sushi and handling the fish and going to the market.
It's very particular.
I don't know. I thought I was watching art, but Jimmy thought it was a bit slow.
A bit slow, yeah. Although it made me want to eat there.
Yeah.
I really did. But I could have been a good half hour, piece. I didn't need now. Jiro dreams of sushi. Does he? Jim dreams of something while he's dozing off watching this shit.
And then it's just a shitty little place in Japan in a subway stop.
In the
Yes,
subway.
tiny.
It's like, how about you wake up and get a bigger place in a nice area?
I think that might kill it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he only has 8 seats.
That's what makes it hot.
Dude, me and you could open up a sushi joint tomorrow. If it's only 8 seats, guess what?
Everyone would go there. Come on, let's go to a couple of queers. Let's have some sushi.
The name got some ring to it.
I mean, yeah.
But we would be successful if we have 8 seats.
Because you always sell out, that's what you're saying?
How do you not sell out 8 seats every day? Jesus, this shark attack. Sorry to go completely off tangent, but everyone saw this by now.
Was he biting? Did he bite the guy or just kind of nose up on him?
And that's Mick Fanning at the surfing competition, the J-Bay Open. You saw this, right? You're right.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't see the whole thing like this, though. I thought he just swam away from it, like kicked it or something. But that, like, he was going under.
This year, people are just really, really scared of sharks. I was at the ocean all weekend, and people are like, "I'm not going in the water. There's sharks in there." I'm like, Jesus, there's no sharks in there.
That's when the sharks should have swum up and bit you right in your ass.
They're just
out
not there.
Oh, they're out there.
Ah, come on.
Look at this. Was he biting him right there?
I don't know.
No, there's no injuries. This shark comes out of nowhere, and he's able to kind of kick off it or something. And twist.
The shark looks like he's fucking like writhing or grinding. So what's I don't understand what's happening.
Me?
If he's not biting the man, was he biting the surfboard?
The shark blew it on his sneak attack.
Oh yeah, that dumb fin.
The shark had a sneak attack, and then he got a little too excited.
You're a dope shark. How about you swim upside down, you dumb fucks? If they swam upside down, they'd be undefeated.
They usually come from way below.
Way below.
That's why it's a motherfucker.
Way below where you can't see it.
A dumb fin. You know how much they must hate eating surface food? They're like, how come everyone sees us coming, Murray? I don't know. Take your hat off. I can't.
Yeah, he's all right. I don't even think he got bit.
That is ridiculous.
That video is everywhere. I'm sure you've seen it by now, people.
Yes.
But if you haven't, we'll put it on our Facebook page, I guess.
You would think, though, it would happen with pro surfers more. Like, we'll have more video of that.
Right.
But we don't.
No.
So, the sharks ain't fuck with nobody. But that was scary.
Yes.
There's a few people that get bit every year, but that's about it.
Stay out of the ocean. How about that?
Don't go in at all?
I mean, that's the only way to do it. You're bothering them in their house.
Yeah.
They're not looking for us.
Right.
They're just hanging out, and all of a sudden there's a fucking 5-course delicious idiot going through. How do you not take a bite?
I tell everyone that's scared of the ocean, just go scuba diving once, and you'll realize everything down there is scared shitless of you.
Except that thing. Except the sharks.
Well, I mean, you get
and jellyfish.
Well, I mean, you get this every once in a while, but in general, you go scuba diving, you don't see shit. You know why? Because they're fucking swimming away from you.
Well, that's true.
At all costs.
But some things ain't going to swim away. Like this shark.
Well,
look at that shit.
Well, the shark, I mean, if you do any research, I mean, they don't want to eat humans. They take a bite and realize, oh, fuck, this tastes like shit, and they move on in general.
In general,
that's what they do. Any marine biologist will tell you that.
Plus, it's like Shark Week. This is hot right now.
It's a hot topic. Yeah, this is not going to help people's fear of the water. That's for sure.
No,
My God.
No.
But it's Australia, right?
Oh, is it?
South Africa.
Oh, it's South Africa? I think South Africa has a lot of sharks, too. Good. South Africa and Australia. And what, North Carolina this year?
Yeah.
Same shark, though. A lot of people saying it's the same shark.
That bit all the people?
Same shark.
On North Carolina shore, that's what
it's not the same shark.
No, of course not.
Of course not, is right. So Jimmy, what were we? Oh, okay, Sushi. Oh, Soaked in Bleach. We have the director of Soaked in Bleach coming in today. I saw it over the weekend. Roland gave me a link. Very interesting. So there's a lot of people out there that think there was a lot of funny business around Kurt Cobain's death.
People don't trust Courtney Love, first of all.
No. But I mean, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but then I saw this movie, and my eyebrows were raised a couple times, like, and a
What motive did they give her to do it?
They were supposedly getting a divorce in the very near future. She signed a prenup, so her take would have been a lot less than what she got if she was still married to Kurt Cobain when he died.
Oh.
Who saw the movie? Eric, you saw it?
I saw it. Yep.
Justin saw it.
Yep.
What'd you think?
I really liked it. The one thing that threw me, took me out a little bit, was they played the tapes, all kinds of interview tapes with Courtney Love, which I thought was fascinating. I never heard it. But then they had reenactments with actors that I'd seen in other projects. And one of the guy who played the main person in this, the private investigator, played Jay Leno in the Late Shift movie. So that kept taking me out of it a bit.
Did he have the chin? He had the fake chin.
He didn't have the chin.
I thought that guy looked familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that took me out a little bit.
He didn't have the fake chin. That threw me off.
No.
What about the actress that played, the young Courtney Love?
Yeah.
That's the
in that
problem,
negligee, and it was a see-through negligee, which was kind of nice to look at.
That was kind of cool.
The problem, though, is that actors make choices, and that's not necessarily what happened. I know that the lines that they did in the reenactments were all from the tapes.
Yeah.
The private investigator taped everything because he thought there was something weird from the get-go.
He really thought so, yeah.
Yeah. So
He thought something was weird with Courtney Love?
He thought
he must be good.
Yeah.
yeah. But there's a lot of weird stuff. They're going to reopen the case, I think.
No, and a lot of those reenactments are based solely off of his memory, not the tape. The only thing that's based off the tapes is the stuff that happened with Courtney Love and Rosemary Carroll.
Right.
But like when they're going to his house and doing all that other stuff, that's based solely on Tom Grant, the private investigator's memory.
Yeah.
So that's not even provable. He's got no reason to lie, but it's not provable.
So the audio they played in the movie is pretty much all he has. That was of interest, right, Travis?
Well, I mean, it depends on how well you know the story. I mean, if you don't know the story, I think the documentary is incredibly interesting. if you know the story, then it's everything you already know.
I don't know well enough. So I would watch it. I don't know.
You would like it because it would raise your eyebrows to a lot of inconsistencies with his death and questions about his death.
Travis, how high are your eyebrows raised?
That's a good question.
Mine raised pretty high.
I like to raise one. It makes me look nutty. It's good for my headshot.
The death grip on the shotgun really raised my eyebrows. But
I want to see that.
But I want someone to argue that point, because in the movie, basically they're saying the shell from the shotgun was on the wrong side of the body, and I guess when you kill yourself, you automatically have a death grip.
Hold on, I'm taking notes.
So they're calling it the death grip on the shotgun doesn't make sense because the shell went the wrong way.
The shell casing should have shot the other way.
So the only way the shell casing could have landed on the wrong side of the body is if it ricocheted from the side it was supposed to go to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when Kurt Cobain was laying there, I think the shotgun was on his left side. Right?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, and it should have went flying to the right.
Right.
So unless it ricocheted off something, people are like, that doesn't make sense. It would have never landed on that side of his body.
Well, they also
and they had a death grip on the shotgun, so they know that. What
they know which way it was facing.
Another explanation that they give is that the shotgun would have flipped around.
Right. But didn't they say that's impossible with the death grip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was documentaries are weird. Like, it all depends on how they paint
It's not
them.
really a documentary.
It's a docudrama.
Docudrama, we'll call it.
Yeah, because of all the
reenactments.
Yeah, they had a lot of reenactments in there, so it takes me out of whatever.
Who found his body? Who found Kurt Cobain?
The electrician.
Well, that's right. The electrician found him.
Yeah.
There's that one on TWA Flight 800, and we watched it, and it was like very convincing for conspiracy. Like, and I'm never conspiracy. It was on Epix. It's really well done. You should see it. But then recently I'm watching something else on Flight 800 where they're talking about, and they made some kind of a point. I'm like, oh, you know what? That part of the official explanation makes perfect sense now. Like, it was some stupid thing that I hadn't thought of, like that the documentary didn't cover. So sometimes the documentary, when they cover things so well, it's like, oh my God, but you forget that they're coming from a point of view as this is a documentary or this is what we're trying to say. And then it's hard to get through that's 100% unbiased.
Right.
Where you just say, this is it.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
With JFK conspiracy, all that shit, and then okay, that makes sense now when you're looking at the whole picture. But when you're coming from a very narrow, focused point of view, sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's definitely a conspiracy.
I'm
not saying this wasn't, but
one of the guys that they interviewed is a forensic expert, and he was very critical of the Warren Commission. He's a famous guy. I forget his name.
We just looked up his name. You know him if you see him.
Cyril Wecht.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy. That's exactly what it is.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Thank you. Honestly, he showed it on the screen before. I'd love to have pulled up. I would have guessed Michael Baden, by the way, who backed the Warren Commission in the 1978 House.
Baden did?
Michael Baden. They did a whole bunch of new stuff on the House Select Committee on Assassinations in '78. And he backed all the medical evidence found by the Warren Commission.
We had Baden in once. He is a ghoul.
Yeah, he's great.
He loves the smell of death.
Oh, yes, he does. I did a red eye with him a couple times.
He eats it up. He would love to smell Jimmy's microphone right now. He would really enjoy that.
Yes, you could tell that the person over the weekend he was eating lima beans. And, he could always tell the contents of the stomach. He did this thing. The best part of the HBO documentaries with him was the woman who announced it. I forget her name. I've looked her up. If you know those Michael Baden documentaries, Autopsy
on HBO,
her voice is fucking chilling, and there's no better announcer for dead things than this woman.
Right.
And she was a news lady. She was like a legit news person. So I looked her up and I'm like, I put a face to the name finally. And I'm like, all right, she's a real person. But man, whenever she's talking about you, you are long dead. Long dead. Can we get her voice for a second?
Long gone.
You've been rotting for a while.
Oh my, they found you in the trunk of a car in Arkansas.
And bugs think you're a perfect place to make a nest.
Yeah, you're fucking, there's fucking eggs in your asshole. And when she's talking about you, you've long since been killed. And I can't remember.
Is your jaw still attached when she comes a knocking?
It really depends. Sometimes it's been detached from a long time, and other times you still got some skin on your face. She was wonderful, but the perfect ghoulish voice.
Right.
But sometimes you hear somebody and you're like, I want to know that face. I become obsessed with knowing. You look them up and. I was looking up recently. Here's what I was looking at. And I don't mean to digress too much. We'll talk about this horrible, horrible drunk driving accident here in New York, where this fucking 4 girls were killed.
Tragic. It's Long Island. I know. Anyway,
but there was a link to an older one.
Yeah.
Like I guess they were just talking about the or well-known drunk driving. And there was a year. I didn't realize this was 1987. Was this guy who fucking drunk drove? He was 25 or whatever, 21, and he killed the bride and groom and the best man. That was 25 years ago. Wow. So I'm like trying to find information, like whatever happened to that guy? Did he go to jail? Like sometimes you just want to
get an update,
put a face on something that you remember. We can't have a name on her. Just put announcer from Autopsy HBO.
Marlene Sanders.
There you go. Marlene Sal. Yeah.
Marlene
She did the Iceman too.
Let's see.
Oh, she's the shit.
She's the shit.
Marlene Sanders is the shit. I don't know if she's still alive, man.
Really?
I don't think anybody's ever said a documentary announcer is the shit.
Marlene Sanders. That's right. I forgot she did the Iceman. Let's just Google her. Just get her voice.
If she's dead,
Dude,
did
she died like last week.
She should have preached. Did she?
Yeah, last week.
Oh, for
Jimmy
Pete's
killed
sake.
her.
She died at the age of 84, July 14th. Last week. That's 2 days ago.
Oh my God, that's really weird
While
timing.
you were enjoying your dinner that the fan was paying for?
No, this
she was dying.
What was I doing? Let's see what day that was. I didn't
It was
look
Saturday.
It up. I know it's probably trying to make me sound like I'm
14th.
That's like
14th.
last week.
14th,
Too
it's
bad.
Today's the
I wonder
20th.
if she.
My sheet's wrong.
Do you have her voice?
Did she pre-tape her own eulogy? That would have been awesome.
Yes. I was found with a hammer claw in my head. I know this because I talked during the ball games. My husband said I enticed him to do it.
It was last Tuesday.
What an idiot.
My sheet says July 16th today, so I got a little confused.
That's my fault.
Oh, no.
Travis. Too busy doing reenactments at your house about Kurt. Fucking creep.
Just by myself. I do all the parts.
All right, where are we? We
I
got
was
so
looking for
much going
Marlene
on.
Sanders'
All right, we're gonna
voice.
get her voice.
Yeah, it's just a dumb thing. Like that's the fun of being on the radio. Is like you can just play her like talking on the news. You'll know her voice.
Oh, that's her from the news too.
Yeah,
man.
she had a real news gig from 78.
Star Wars Holiday Special will continue in a moment.
Wait,
Star Wars Holiday Special.
Good evening. From CBS News, this is Newsbreak. Soviet
Do you remember her
President
voice?
Brezhnev
Yes.
told
Yes.
12 U.S. senators that the Soviet Union had once
that's all
tested
I
a
did.
neutron
It was
bomb.
better when she did the announcement. She was doing the
just
dead
passed
stuff.
away.
She was awesome.
That was from 1978.
I had to put a face on this fucking amazing voice of death.
I think you want to like
Autopsy HBO.
yeah.
Wow.
Just find Autopsy HBO. There's got to be a clip. All right, fuck, who cares? I'm totally grinding the show to a halt to hear an 84-year-old woman talk about a cadaver.
Oh, it's fine. Is this her?
Consciousness.
Yeah.
This time, the cause of death was cited as acute pulmonary edema.
It scares the shit out of you.
Mary Beth had now lost 5 children in 3 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, here's the thing with Marlene Sanders. Whenever you tuned in, no matter where you pick, you could immediately pick up this was not a good story. Like you never needed to wonder, is Marlene Sanders talking about something? Even when we just randomly found something on the fucking, it was her talking about Brezhnev and nuclear holocaust.
Right.
I love
5
her.
kids in 3 years. What did that lady just juggle them as soon as they
I know.
came out of the fucking?
We were
Some people are just lucky.
luckydevil.com. Yeah. Yeah, she was that lady that killed all her kids. She was a fucking horrible, and it seemed like they were all dying. And of course, Dr. Bodden on the case.
Oh, he got to it because
Yeah.
he found a maggot.
Yeah, they found something.
Found some kind of maggot, and then they brought it all together.
Dissected it.
I don't know. Travis, what else on Soaked in Bleach? We're gonna have the director at what time? 9 o'clock today. So,
Well, I mean,
Travis,
all points are great points. Like it's very compelling. The amount of heroin in the system, the way that the shotgun was placed, the note that is a suicide note, but it could also be a retirement note, and the wording on the bottom is not necessarily written by the same person.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, sorry, Travis, just the suicide note. The last part brings it together like it is a suicide note, but it doesn't match the rest of the note as far as the writing goes, right?
Really?
It's all great points.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to just be like, Kurt killed himself because that's what was immediately determined, but it's all great points.
Wait, hold up. So the last line in his suicide note didn't match up with the rest of the note?
The last 4 lines, please keep going, Courtney.
Right.
For Frances, her life will be so much better without me. I love you. I love you. It's not written in the same size or necessarily the same handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it down to the. Oh, that bitch killed him.
But also, they found in Courtney Love's backpack a sheet where somebody was practicing the letters that Kurt Cobain would use in his handwriting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and the only reason that we even see the suicide letter is because Tom Grant, the private investigator, asked for a copy from Courtney and took it and made a copy of it.
Mm-hmm. Wait, has this not been shown a lot? The actual
No. I mean, that's been shown for 20 years. But the only reason that it was made public is because of him, not because of her.
Because he said something like, well, in the movie, he says, well, I don't have my glasses, because she hands him the note. And he's like, I don't have my glasses. Let me make a copy of this, and I'll give you this one back so I can read it later.
Did he have his glasses? Was he lying?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's for the sequel, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, was he just trying to get a copy?
And then they're saying...
He was trying to get a copy.
Yeah, he was trying to get a copy.
And then they're saying the greenhouse where Kurt killed himself, there was a door, there was a chair blocking the door from the inside. Right. And the people that were first on the scene were saying there was no door there.
So it was no door with a chair blocking.
No chair blocking. No chair blocking the door. Right. Because that would also
mean that he went in there by himself
and locked himself in and barricaded the door with a chair. And a lot of people saying there was no fucking chair there. Period.
Yeah, it's all great points. If you watch the film, it's very hard to be like, okay, well, that's easily explainable, and that's easily explainable.
I would love to get a guy on the other side that goes, well, I'll explain this, this, and this. But who is that person?
Well, Kurt Cobain's on the phone. Can we get Kurt?
No, he passed away a long time ago.
Oh.
And then there's
saying Maureen talk about him?
He had so much heroin in his system, he wouldn't be able to function and use a shotgun. And,
That's how much heroin they found in the system. So you think she shot him up with heroin, then took him in there and killed him, or he had somebody else do it?
No, I mean, look, whether he was murdered or not, she wasn't the one that pulled the trigger.
Okay.
Like, I don't think she killed him. Yes. She may have had something to do with it.
Okay.
But I don't think she...
With the mafia.
It was the mafia shit, but you're ruining the movie for everyone.
They kind of pointed to a nanny who was a male nanny who was an ex-boyfriend of Courtney Love, who worked in the house, and he had problems with drugs too. And
he was a nanny. What the fuck are we talking about?
Are you saying that there may have been a money motivation?
Possibly.
Oh, do tell.
Courtney Love's ex, who had drug problems, was the nanny?
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody here has a problem with that.
I don't know why you'd let your ex why would you let the ex of your wife who has drug problems handle your kid?
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
I thought somebody white would answer that for me.
They're all junkies. I mean,
yeah, it's true. But still.
he was an awesome musician, but they were junkies.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wish I had seen. I regret. I was just busy hobnobbing, helping. You know me, helping people. Just being out helping people. I wish I'd seen it.
And then there were a lot of pictures taken at the time, and they were filed away. They didn't even develop the film until recently.
4 rolls of film.
4 rolls of film. They didn't even develop until recently.
How recent?
Last year. It was a big story last year. Like, they released 2 new photos of the crime scene. But out of the 4 rolls.
They have 4 rolls of the suicide of Kurt Cobain, and they never developed a film. That is fucking weird.
Who has it? The cops?
Well, the Seattle Police Department kind of,
they just filed it away.
Yeah, they might have botched the investigation. And the old police chief, what was his title officially? He was in charge of the police of Seattle. He's now retired, and he says, I would absolutely, reopen the case if I was still the guy.
He says that?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, where was this film this whole time? Did they go to Photomat?
It was in storage.
Yeah, just filed away.
Who saw that and said we should develop this?
Picked up.
Yeah.
So they found this and said, let's develop it?
Yeah, well, one of the investigators went back and was like, oh, maybe we should develop this. So, and then they released 2 photos. They're not releasing any.
Why?
Because, and I don't disagree, because it really wouldn't benefit anyone to see, Kurt's face shot off.
Oh, it's just, okay.
What public benefit is there to releasing more photos?
Yeah, I guess that.
Maybe somebody fresh eyes might see something new in the photo.
Yeah. Maybe there's a man in the back of the reflection.
That'd be great.
Back to the suicide note. Grant believes the letter reads as a note announcing Cobain is leaving his wife in the music business, not as a farewell to life. but those last couple lines make it look more like a suicide note. The rest of it could be interpreted as him leaving his wife in the music business, or at least leaving Nirvana to go do some other things.
Wow.
So we're going to talk to this guy a little later.
Speaking of
Benjamin
suicide,
Statler.
Speaking of suicide, boy, can Trump stop putting his foot in his mouth? Holy
Trumpy.
shit!
He's on fire.
Oh, what a dope!
You don't like what he said about McCain?
No,
not at all.
Okay.
No one likes that.
Somebody's liking it.
No one likes that. What did he say? That
he said McCain. They were talking. Here's what Trump is. He's a reactionary guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you say something like, "Hey, I don't like your suit," yeah, well, I heard your mom died. he's one of those guys who just fucking fires. He's like Trump's whole life is spent at the Comedy Cellar table.
Yes.
He's always saying shit, and I guess they were at a. It was a live speaking event, and he was just someone said something about McCain being a war hero, and he shook his head no, like he was annoyed at that.
well, we got the audio. You want to play?
Play the audio. Yes.
All right, and then we can stop it as we go. It's like 3 minutes.
We don't. This was very brief. What he said. This was really quick.
We attacked. Let's just start with it, and then we'll. We can play.
You can see his face. He's like he doesn't want to hear the Trump that McCain was he doesn't like other people getting praise.
Yeah, he hates it.
McCain absolutely is a war hero.
Of course he is.
Yo, bro, you on wood?
Oh, I got a commercial.
You kidding me?
Yo, bro, that's how it starts?
Yeah. Well,
That's
a little
not
strange.
that's
president.
just the jumping off.
And there's so many dopes on Twitter talking about this. They're like, no, he wasn't brave because he can't fight Obama. And I'm like, first of all, you dummy. Stop trying to, again, it's 13-year-old Jimmy Norton arguing. Let me try to tie all the words in. This is a different kind of bravery. You can attack his politics. I don't care about McCain's politics. But you can't attack the bravery of a guy who was held for 5 years. I'm sorry. You just can't.
He had a chance to get out.
And he stayed.
And he stayed with the rest of his fucking unit.
Right.
It's like, come on, man.
Was the term libtard used on Twitter a few times?
But it really is these fucking fake these fucking fake. It's like no, but it is a bravery. Shut up! Stop trying to win the argument, fucking 13-year-old. It's not the same. Oh no, he didn't do a policy thing I liked. Then I guess he's not brave. But he had his arms broken in captivity. Yeah, but he couldn't stand up to Obama. Good point. You win. You win. Just like when you were a boy and mommy wouldn't let you go out. You win. Shut your fucking face.
God damn it. Happy birthday, Jim.
Oh my God, they're such idiots.
This is a rough one for Mr. Trump.
And it's funny, I still back Trump as far as like I like the fact that he says whatever he wants.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this really annoyed me. I smashed him on Twitter for it. It's like, man, you run your fucking mouth and it's like you got deferments. I would have gotten a deferment.
Yeah.
I'm a coward. Yeah. I would not, but you know what I wouldn't do? Attack people who served like in that way. You could say his politics suck, he's a fucking retard, but if you're attacking like and saying the guy's not a hero after he got fucking taken for 5 years and held while you were in college, shut your fucking mouth.
I agree.
I bow to the people that serve for this country because, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. I guess in boot camp, maybe they reprogram your brain so you could do it.
Maybe.
I can't imagine doing what these guys do for us. It's amazing.
You can't question. It's like fighters. There's fighters I don't like. There's UFC fighters I don't think are as good. But I would never question the balls of a guy who gets in the ring and fight. I would never look at a guy and go, he's not brave.
Yeah.
Or he's not,
Right.
And saying he's not a hero is questioning the bravery because that's part of the same makeup. The fact that he stood this for 5 years. How the fuck can you say that?
It's a doozy.
Yeah.
This is in the doozy category for Mr. Trump.
But he gets it his own way.
He really does. But that said, it's like I still like the fact that he's in the race. I still like the fact that he's ruining everyone's day.
Right.
I really do.
I swear to God, I love it.
But even with this, he's still leading in the polls.
And Morning Joe's got John McCain on right now. Trump should apologize to military families. I don't know if Trump's that guy.
He won't.
I don't know if he knows how to even apologize.
He'll come out and say, I never attack military families.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
he'll
always
try to.
there for them.
Yeah, you're right. He'll try to spin his way out of it.
He has been.
Yeah, but he's not going to. No, he's
But
not.
how great would it be to see McCain and Trump in a debate on TV going at each other?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is where McCain would be at a disadvantage. Trump has only a business record. He has no record in politics to attack. So McCain has basically just got to defend every decision he's ever made, every alliance.
Right.
But Trump doesn't have to defend any of that.
Yeah.
Because in business, I'm sure he's made mistakes, but it's harder to attack his record. McCain's record's attackable because he's been in public office for years.
You're going to attack Trump's last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone hanging in there at the debates with Donald Trump.
I mean, if you come with facts and make him seem just like a blowhard, then you can win.
But Trump gets down and dirty.
He gets down and dirty.
None of these other guys know how to get down and dirty. They're always protecting their image and protecting every special interest group, every single potential voter. And Trump just gets down and like he's in the schoolyard.
Yes,
right?
That's what I love.
Back of the bus shit with this Trump guy.
Back of the bus.
Penn made great points about him, though. It's like, you want someone, I like someone who's honest. I want someone to say stuff that annoys people. I don't care if he smashed McCain. I don't think because McCain was captured that he's above being crucified as a public official.
I'm agreeing, yeah.
But it's just that line. It's like, that was just, you let's play the tape. You can hear it's a reaction.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone went, yeah, well, your policy sucks. Well, fuck you and your divorce.
Yes.
And it's like, when you're firing like that, that's when there's times when you're going to say stuff that's just, you're just an idiot.
Yeah. Wayne in Maine, we don't have time to go to your call.
That rhymed.
But he says, I was on board with Trump.
Wayne in Maine.
Yeah, he's in pain.
I was on board with Trump until McCain comments. Yeah, I think he might have lost a few.
He might have, but you can still be on board with Trump. I still like what he's doing. I just don't like that he said that. I think he's a douche for saying that. And you could crucify him for saying that. It doesn't mean that you don't still want him to be there.
Yeah.
Swinging. Basically, he's got a horn. You know how Charlie Brown would run away from home with that stick with a bag on it? Trump has one of those with a hornet's nest. And he's just spinning it in a circle and irritating everyone. So just because he irritated me doesn't mean that I want him to go away.
Now, that's true. Now, here's the point. Now, do you think Trump attacked McCain because McCain is in Arizona and they got the immigration shit going on down there, and he think he can get people to turn on McCain in his own state?
Yes, I think that's why I think he attacked him. But I think that Trump has got to be smart enough to know that this was a stupid, stupid thing he said. Because everyone that was ever captured or taken prisoner, like the fucking there was one of those, locked up abroad. Did we talk about that on the air? Was that off air? Somebody told me the guy McCain did time with, Edgar something, I believe it or not, who had one of the worst stories ever. He was a civilian held in captivity. He was flying missions in and out of Vietnam, and this guy was captured in the jungle. And did we talk about that on the air or no?
No, we never did.
Somebody told me about that. This guy was, I think, held for 7 years, and he was held outdoors in the jungle. Like, these Vietnamese tortured him. Like, he was made to sleep, like, he had like a weird cage constructed that he could only sit up in. He couldn't stand.
Right.
And when he went to bed, they would tie his hands to the front, they would tie his feet, and his neck had a rope around it tied behind him, so he had to sleep on his back outdoors, exposed to the elements and animals and insects.
Bugs.
That's
what would drive you nuts in the end.
And the claustrophobia. And he was held for years. And he was eventually brought, I think after 3 or 4 years, to the Hanoi Hilton. And then he and McCain became, they would communicate like through silent knocks through the wall. And to survive that, and McCain was in this being interviewed about the other guy. And McCain goes, look, what I went through is nothing compared to what this guy went through. So when you see that these men who survived this shit, like for you to say, I like people who weren't captured, it's just a cunt thing to say.
It's a cunt thing to say.
It's a cunt thing to say. And sometimes you got to admit, like, you know what? I was being a twat when I said that.
Yeah.
You got to be a man and admit that you were being a twat.
Yeah.
But again, you can't support a guy like Trump and go, I like that he's wrecking everybody's day, and then go, oh, he said one thing I hate, now I want him to go away.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to stick around, but I just think he was a dick for saying that.
Yeah, this is going to get... But, I mean, he's got more headlines. They're not talking about anybody else except for Trump and McCain.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be talking about anyone else for the next few days.
He put McCain in the race.
And all these candidates, they need the exposure. They're just not getting it because, every other day Trump's saying something pretty crazy that they want to discuss on all these news channels.
Yeah, but he's not brave enough to say blah, blah, blah. Shut up! Fucking asshole! I'm trying to bridge words to make your point, you fucking jizzbag. I am a brave. No, it is the same thing. Brave is a brave. It's the same thing. No, it's not. Fucking dunce.
I want to go back to your point. if you were being held captive and you had an American in the cell next to you, would you be able to figure out that whole knock communication?
No, and they knew if they got caught knocking, you got a savage beating.
Yeah.
That was against the rules. It wasn't like the Vietnamese saying, go ahead, knock, have a chat. This was very...
But these guys figured out how to communicate.
How they use Morse code, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
hopefully you remember the Morse code.
Yeah.
I think so.
Hopefully you were paying attention when they were teaching you the Morse code stuff.
They never saw each other's face. When he saw McCain when they'd both been released, they saw each other at an event.
For the first time.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, man. This guy just died.
Maybe they should, make a movie.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Story and that guy.
Yeah, McCain was an admiral's son, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He was a real target, man.
His father was a Navy admiral. I believe, yeah.
What would you knock to the guy next to you in the other cell?
It wouldn't happen because I'd be too busy giving up secrets. I'd be knocking to the Vietnamese. Let me tell you where we're staying, and would you like me to make a propaganda video? That's the difference between me and them. They stand tall, and I'm a fucking coward. And all they would have to do, the minute I felt my wrist being tied, I would be like, is that bamboo, sir? Come here, I have some maps to show you. I would have given it up so fast.
That's why you got to bow to these guys.
Any of them. He would stand to President Obama. He would stand to the president. Really? Fucking keyboard warrior? Jerk off? Question the bravery of these people?
Well, crazy.
Shut up.
If I heard knocking coming...
You're brave enough to use your real name on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah. Start there.
You're LARPing.
Start
there. You're pretending you're something you're not.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy who tells it like it is. If you be snarky guy, okay. But meanwhile, in your own personal lives, your wife yells at you, okay, honey, you're right. Good point. I'll go to the man cave. Good point. You're doing role play. It's adult LARPing.
Yes.
But again, you can hate McCain's guts, but to question the guys, to say that, it's like, and you want to be technical, well, he wasn't a hero just because he got care. You know what? I'm okay fucking giving a guy who spent 5 years in a POW camp a fucking hero badge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, because you did something I couldn't do. These guys who said that he didn't even fight, what do you think you do in POW camp? They just sit you down and talk to you and let you watch the news? They fucking hurt you to make you tell them things.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Over and over
again. They fucking hurt you.
Sadistic.
John McCain can't swing a golf club because of his time in Vietnam.
He can't lift his arms up in the air.
Yeah,
man.
right. Jesus Christ. Every time
that
he's
would
at the
really
wave.
fuck up your golf swing.
Yeah, or every time you're at a baseball game and they do the wave, you know how left out he feels? Every time he's in a fucking Diamondbacks game and they're like, oh, he's gonna be like those goddamn fucking, just so many racial epithets I wanted to fire out. But when I get fired for saying gooks or nips, but I'm doing a character, I'm doing McCain in '68. It doesn't matter, you said it in 2015.
You have to go now. You have to leave.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know. Anyway, can we play what Trump said? He's babbling at this point.
Babbling. It's amazing.
Just babbling. I don't know what
his birthday was yesterday.
Yes, it was. Happy birthday. I'm 47, man, and it's fucking, you're getting old, but I think about it, and it's like, I guess the option is to be dead. Like, it stinks being all out. Oh, it stinks. All right, here's the option. I'm right now pointing at a mock coffin.
Only thing worse than getting old is not getting old.
Yeah, fucking, it's great.
Somebody that was working for the church just turned 103, Jim Norton, so you're good for a while.
They had an 110-year-old woman just wanted to see the president. She was the oldest living World War, she's an old black woman. She's from Brooklyn, I think.
Brooklyn, she's in New York, Harlem, I think.
Yeah, man, she lived through DC.
Queens.
She's so old, she's not black anymore.
Nope, she's a whole new race.
You guys lose that color the older you get.
That's right, and you gain it.
Yes, we do.
We just kind of switch
and everything else. You're kind of right. I've seen some of these old black ladies. Black, really?
Yeah.
She start turning white.
Yes.
She had on an old lady outfit, like it was like red sneakers and blue pants. Just something only an old lady could wear to see the president.
110. What could she possibly say to the president?
I think I don't know if she's out of it or not. I don't know.
I gotta see this. Oh my God, look at her.
Yeah, but fucking 110-year-old.
She
joined the WACs when she was 38 in World War II.
Okay.
She had fucking 5 kids. Talk about people who go above and beyond to do what I just would never do. Like, anyone in the military, man, and I'm not saying that just because you're supposed to say good military shit, but there really is a mentality there I can't grasp. Like, they just do stuff I'm not capable of doing.
Emma Didlock, it looks like.
Did she? That's helpful.
They That's her, yeah.
That's 110?
Not bad. She looks like mommy. Yes,
That's a
she was
good
yelling at her.
110.
She was yelling at her son George in his dry cleaning business. I don't know why Louise is always bothering you, George.
Mother Jefferson.
Holy shit, that's Mother Jefferson.
Mother Jefferson.
Oldest living veteran. All right.
for her.
Wow.
All right, then.
Yeah, that's a nice shot.
I want audio of her if you can find
I don't know if she talked much. I think Obama talked to her. He said that she's, Emma did late, not did lock.
110.
110. And
You want to make it to that, Jimmy? You want to go to 110?
I want to be the biggest burden you've ever seen. I want them scooping shit. I want the area between my balls and asshole to be a shit factory. I can't believe he's 119 and he won't die. I'd still be doing the same corny jokes. Slip in a puddle of egg. We heard you. Yeah, I want to live a long fucking life. I'm not ready to go gracefully. I want to live until my fingers are full. We didn't know that happened to people at that age. That's what I want. We didn't know that happened.
We have the clip, and it looks like she doesn't say anything.
No, she's dressed like Charles Barkley. Fucking red sneakers and fucking blue pants.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just a sweet old lady.
I saw a clip of Barkley playing in a celebrity golf tournament. He can't walk, huh?
What do you mean?
Is his knees really bad or his hips?
Probably a little bit of both.
He was walking really fucked up. I didn't realize that.
But anybody over like 6'8" and over 50
that played in the NBA?
Yeah.
Good luck walking.
Those knees start to go.
I was kind of depressed seeing Barkley try to get around a little bit in this clip I saw.
Even Shaq and all of them. When you watch them on TNT, you see them go to that backboard, it's like they look like old.
Yeah. And they're only, Shaq's not even 50. Well, Shaq's got to be 50.
No, he's younger than us.
Shaq's in his 40s and he walks like Frederick Douglass.
Yeah.
He's still in his 40s, Shaq?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure he is. Sure, he was after our. We were.
But he's been retired a while now.
Yeah, but maybe about 7 years.
Isn't it amazing the human body? Like
40. Shaq's only 43.
Yeah.
Travis just told me
the parameters you can operate under, like between it's 6'8" or whatever. Like there's certain height and beyond that, your body just doesn't work. A certain age, when you're like at 110, you only have a couple of years left. Like it's a really fine.
You ever saw
cutoff point.
A 6'9", 80-year-old?
No, I've been saying that forever. You never see old people that are tall walking around Manhattan.
So
it's very rare.
Shaq at 43 is really like a regular person at 79.
You don't see old fat people or old tall people ever.
Although the health that Shaq is in, look at Magic. I mean, he's older than people thought he would have been. These athletes have a certain health probably from all those years of taking care of themselves. You hope that they'll go longer.
But Shaq is 43. When did he retire?
2011.
So 4 years. So he was
he's only been retired 4 years. All right.
Yeah,
4 years. I thought it was like 7.
Where are we? We're all over the place now. We'll
talking
bring it all
about
together.
Trump's audio.
You want to?
Yeah, listen. The Trump audio is not good.
Well, I want to take this guy's call before. That's what it was. 'Cause, I mean, this guy. All right, this guy will explain. Josh in Maryland, go ahead.
My grandfather's brother was in a Japanese concentration camp in World War II. He was a civilian. He was doing some business down in like South Pacific or something. Somehow got caught in a Japanese concentration camp, and they cut his balls off there. So
they cut his balls off?
They cut his balls
in the concentration camp.
In the concentration camp. I mean, he after he got out, he got married, but he had to adopt kids and stuff. So.
Your phone's crapping out, unfortunately.
The Japanese cut his balls off?
Yeah. And he wasn't even a soldier. He was doing some civilian work, and they grabbed him.
I was told he was never a fan of the Japanese.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah, after a group cuts your balls off, it's kind of hard to separate the good from bad apples. Once your testicles have been removed, it's okay to lump everyone into the same category. That's the rule of thumb with racism and bigotry. If a guy cuts you off because he's Puerto Rican, you really shouldn't hate Puerto Ricans. If you got beat up by a Chinese guy, once your balls come off, they're all terrible. Fair enough, sir.
Yes. Fair enough, sir. Remember I said you never see old fat people or old tall people?
Yeah.
You also never see old men in a sushi joint.
Old men?
Unless they're making the fucking food.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean Americans.
It's personal.
You never see old American males in a sushi joint. ever.
Yeah, it's personal.
They're still holding a grudge.
Yeah, they still remember Skip and Steve when they lost in the war.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, we got our food here, and the McCain thing's going to take probably another 20 minutes.
Sure.
So why don't we take a break? When we get back, we're going to play the whole Donald Trump thing. We got Donald Trump attacking John McCain. Some are saying that it was taken out of context. We got Jim in Virginia saying that. So we have to listen.
Okay, because I watched it and I tried to do that just so I didn't tweet. I tweeted him very nasty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me watch it first and make sure that I didn't take this out of context. I didn't want to do that.
All right. And did you?
No, I didn't. Yeah, no, this guy is saying that there's a bigger picture. I think Trump tried to backtrack immediately.
Yeah.
I think he understood how bad that came out. But,
all right, we'll listen to it. Then we got Trump trying to defend his comments. Then you got Montel Williams telling Donald Trump to knock it off.
Oh, Montel.
Knock it off.
I'm glad Montel's chiming in. I wonder what happened when he retired 30 years ago and has been smoking pot. We get it. You're high.
Oh, man.
I have to officially withdraw my endorsement.
To McCain?
To Trump.
To Trump over the McCain thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was cunty, right? It was very cunty what he said.
Yeah, you can't.
There's a lot of military families out there.
Yeah,
that was a rough one for Trump.
I heard Trump said he was only talking about Mexican military families.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not good.
No.
Yeah, we'll play the audio next. And then
Trump made a weird announcement. He said that he's fucking, for the weekend, he's supposed to be campaigning. He's going to Levity Live to see me.
Oh.
What a weird plug joke. Not good at either. I'll be there this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, folks. Tickets going fast. The kid is on a roll. No, he isn't.
I love that Levity Live, too. It's a great club, man.
Love it.
Go see Jim Norton at Levity Live this weekend.
The new act is coming together, folks. I couldn't be happier. Yes, I could be.
Sherrod Small?
I'm just busy. I'm just working.
Just hanging. You got Race Wars this Wednesday.
Race Wars Wednesday.
At 9 o'clock. It's doing very well.
Very well. I got pitch meetings all week. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
You're promoting pitch meetings?
I'm just trying to sell a show. I'm trying to get a show out there.
Well, why don't you include me in it? I believe it's. Is it a radio show or a video?
TV.
Well, all right.
I got you.
How about a little taste for us?
I got you.
I'm ready to go back on TV finally.
Yes.
I'm out of retirement.
You're going to play my white butler.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you're Ralph the doorman. Put your hand out for $1 all the time.
You're going to flip Benson on his back.
Oh, I'll start with that. Got to start somewhere if I'm out of retirement.
Your new name is White Benson.
All right, I'll do it. Josh Gad a little later on.
I hear you. Remember Krause from Benson?
Mrs. Krause.
Krause, the old fucking snarky Benson.
She's got to be dead, right?
Well, yeah, one would hope.
Oh, she was great.
I know she was, but I just mean, I couldn't think of what else to say.
They had a good cast over there, man.
Yeah, we'll look her up too. But Josh Gad is promoting, what is the name of that movie? Pixels?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Pixels is out. Josh Gad's in that. What else? He was the voice
Frozen?
of Olaf,
Yes.
Book of Mormons.
Your kids won't let you forget that Olaf, will they?
No, we're finally past that. Thank God. What are we on to these days? What's the one that's over?
Minions now or no?
I don't know where Lorax.
Oh, yeah, the Lorax.
Because I guess that's on HBO or something.
Is that Danny DeVito playing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lorax they're into right now, over and over again.
Just throwing it out there.
And Teen Titans Go.
Oh,
Teen
yeah, my
Titans
kids watch
Go.
that nonstop. Inga Swenton from
Yeah.
Benson. She
Yeah.
is not dead.
Oh.
She was born in 1932.
Let's play Dead or Not Dead today.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Call up with a celebrity, Dead or Not Dead. How old is she?
I can't do the math.
Was she really German?
Well, what year was she born?
1932.
83.
32.
I hear you.
82.
82, going on 83. Born December 29th, 1932.
Wow.
And then
I fucked her.
Then also we got Benjamin Statler coming in, who directed Soaked in Bleach that we discussed a little bit at the top of the show today.
Now, why is the name Soaked in Bleach, too? I don't know if that's...
Well, I mean, Bleach was a Nirvana album, so Soaked in Bleach. I don't know.
Okay.
Fooling around with the word bleach.
Okay.
We could ask him that.
Okay.
Why
Good
soaked in
question.
bleach?
Why soaked in bleach?
Write that down. That's the first question we should ask.
Yes.
You asked that question.
I'm on it.
When we get back, the Trump audio. I guess that's all I want to say.
Happy birthday. It's Buzz birthday. On the Morning Buzz.
It's little, I'm going to read this, quote unquote, little Jimmy Norton is turning 7 today. And that's exactly how he likes to be called. He likes to be called little Jimmy Norman. I can't even say his name today. His birthday for little Jimmy Norton comes from Mom and Dad, Chip, Uncle Paul, Grandpa Sinclair, and Kenny, the slowest dog in the world.
Oh, it's a little Eeyore.
Sherrod Small.
Thank the guys in the back office.
What do we got here? Okay, let's do the Trump McCain clip, finally. Let's get right into it. This is where it all kind of went down.
Okay.
Mediate. They posted our video this weekend. Thank you. To Mediate.
Rapists. Referring to John McCain, a war hero, 5.5 years as a POW, and you call him a dummy. Is that appropriate in running for president?
Okay, you got to let me speak though, Frank, because
I love that.
Yeah,
so far, I love it.
Why can't you call him a dummy?
You can call someone a dummy.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
What's wrong with that?
You can still come out of the other side of some type of military situation dumb.
Yeah, or you can still politically be a dummy. Again, your politics are up for grabs, and you can be attacked all day.
Yeah, you can be out of touch and out of date.
I believe he's talking about his politics there when he's calling him a dummy.
Right.
All right, continue. So far, so good.
all the time, okay? So, no, I know him too well. That's the problem. Let's take John McCain. I'm in Phoenix. We have a meeting that is going to have 500 people at the Biltmore Hotel. We get a call from the hotel. It's turmoil. Thousands and thousands of people are showing up. 3-4 days before, they're pitching tents on the hotel grass. The hotel says, we can't handle it. It's going to destroy the hotel. We move it to the convention center. We have 15,000 people. The biggest one ever. Bigger than Bernie Sanders, bigger than 15,000 people showed up to hear me speak. Bigger than anybody. And everybody knows it. A beautiful day with incredible people that were wonderful, great Americans, I will tell you. John McCain, oh boy, Trump makes my life difficult. He had 15,000 crazies show up. Crazies. He called them all crazy. I said, they weren't crazy. They were great Americans. These people, if you would have seen these people, I know what crazy is. I know all about crazies. These weren't crazy. So he insulted me, and he insulted everybody in that room. And I said, somebody should run against John McCain, who has been, in my opinion, not so hot. And I supported him. I supported him for president. I raised $1 million for him. It's a lot of money. I supported him. He lost. He let us down. But, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers. But Frank, let me get to
all fine.
He hit me. He's not a war hero. He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you. Do you agree with that? He's a war hero because he was captured, okay? You can have, and I believe perhaps he's a war hero, but
pause right there.
Right now,
immediately, perhaps he's a war. It was just one of those things that you're saying when it was a scumbag thing to say.
Yeah. Definitely.
But they were great Americans, 15,000 people that showed up to just look at you, but he wasn't after 5.5 years. That's really annoying.
Yeah,
absolutely is.
And it was not out of context. Whoever's on the phone saying it's out of context, I did watch it in context.
He's still there, so we'll go to him in a second. Finish the clip. It's only.
Do you agree with that? He's a war hero because he was captured. Okay? You can have, and I believe perhaps he's a war hero, but right now he said some very bad things about a lot of people. So what I said is, John McCain, I disagree with him that these people aren't crazy. And, very importantly, and I speak the truth, he graduated last in his class at Annapolis. So I said, nobody knows that. I said he graduated last or second to last. He graduated last in his class at Annapolis. And he was upset. I said, why? For telling the truth? See, you're not supposed to say that somebody graduated last or second to last in their class, because you're supposed to be, like Frank says, very nice. Folks, I want to make America great again. We want to get down to brass tacks. We don't want to listen to his stuff with being politically correct and everything has. We have a lot of work to do.
That's all fair, but except for that one thing he said was a jerk-off thing to say.
And then, in a side, he goes, all right, I believe he's a war hero. He casually said that.
He immediately realized he put his foot in his mouth. And what is annoying about him is, like, even though you should never be forced to go, like, oh, I'm sorry. If you say something stupid, it's okay to go, yeah, that was kind of stupid. We all say dumb shit.
Yes. Let's go to Jim in Virginia. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, I wasn't saying it was out of context, but it's like the tone of how he says it. It's like an aside that he meant it, I thought, jokingly. But yeah, it was a fucking stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it was a dick move.
Yeah, we all say dumb shit.
He was giving John McCain a pretty good beating, but, keeping it on the level. And then he got down and dirty there. And that's what everyone's focusing on now. So,
who knew that John McCain was the bottom of his class, though? What's that about?
I don't know. Trump's been saying that for a while, basically saying he was a bad student, yeah.
But again, that's all fair, and saying that he's not good for veterans, like because of his policies, you could attack him all day on that.
Yeah.
But it was just the one thing, like he said, because he was captured. It sounded almost like a comeback, but then he doubled down on it and go, "I like people who weren't." And it's like, man, there's guys that were tortured to death there. Shut up! You took deferments.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, it was a joke, though. Like, it was,
I don't care if it was a joke. I have no problem with it, but I don't think it was.
It wasn't a joke.
He's doubled down on it since then. He didn't say I was kidding.
No, it wasn't. He was being dead ass.
I don't think it was a joke at all.
He was being dead ass.
It was like, I don't like people who aren't. I don't know. I don't think
it was a joke at all.
Point being is he hasn't said since I was kidding.
I think
no, he wasn't kidding.
If he was kidding, he would say I was joking. He wasn't.
Trump is pretty cocky, and he kind of has like that shock jock mentality.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say my shit, no matter what.
If he was
I don't
kidding,
think he was joking at all.
If he was kidding, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I think the fact is he was just firing back, and then I think in that moment he kind of realized what he just said, and he goes, "Oh, who knows? Maybe he is a war hero." And then he just tried to just go away from it, but people got it.
Right. All right.
He's definitely a narcissist, but at least he's not.
I think they all are, though. That's no different than the rest.
He's on a different level.
But everybody's, a bunch of hypocrites anyway, because the same award they talk about McCain was in that he was a hero for, he got people protested it when he came back. So it's like, stop.
Yeah.
You want everything.
But Trump, whenever you bring any person up to
Trump.
God,
you're ruining the show!
Stop talking!
Oh, my God!
Who are you?
Already. You're ruining the show!
But if you bring anybody up to Trump,
these fucking assholes, then move on.
It's not what I meant when I said that, by the way.
Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when you bring anybody up to Trump always has to say that person sucks.
Yeah.
No matter who the person is.
Of course.
So that was his instant reaction right then and there. And then he realized, all right, I made fun of a war hero, and he undid it. But you bring anybody up, it's, I'm better, that person's terrible.
But he's doubled down since then, and he's saying that's what he meant. Like, that's the problem. If he said I was kidding, or hey, look, I just got caught up in a moment, I'll be like, all right, so what?
Right.
Well, I mean, Trump is just talking off the cuff, though. No politician does that.
No.
Or they would be in trouble every day as well.
That's rich man shit.
So there's people like going, I love this Trump because he's, talking off the cuff and saying what he's thinking. But you're going to get some of this. You're going to get some of this shit.
But if you're the guy who
every
does
other
that,
politician, they carefully think about every single,
and
not even
annoying.
word, every syllable.
It's annoying. It's annoying as shit saying something.
They're extremely careful with everything they say to the media.
It's too rehearsed and it's nonsense.
Yeah.
If you're the guy that does that and does say stuff like he does, which again, that's right, it's the price you pay. Sometimes they say shit that annoys you.
Yeah.
But at least be honest enough to go, like, yeah, that was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. If
Jimmy
you're gonna be
nailed it.
Mr. Tell it like it is guy, I got no problem with that. I don't want him dropping out of the race because he insulted McCain or anything dramatic. But just be the guy to go, yeah, that was kind of stupid because, saying that you're the hero just because you got captured. I like people who didn't get captured. It's kind of cunty. And I did take deferments while you were out there getting fucking having your arms broken.
If he said that, I would vote for him.
I would respect that.
He would have got a lot of respect. Jimmy just fucking nailed it. You're absolutely right. You turn around and go, oh, wow, okay, oops, that was a bad one.
I talk a lot.
And then go right back to, but I still don't like him, and I think he's a bad student and all
I think his politics stink, and sometimes, you mix up the politics and you say things you shouldn't say. But I shouldn't, because Trump could get away with that. People, like, he's known enough as a guy that literally just walks into a room as he's the fun wrecker. He could say that and get away with it.
Yeah.
But when you double down, you just look like a dick.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Do that.
Huh?
What's that?
I don't think he can say that. I don't think he can back up.
I know, but that's
why not?
That's why it was a great point from little Jimmy Norton.
Why can't he?
I don't think he can apologize for stuff or say, "Oh, that was too far," or "I shouldn't have said that."
Yeah, even if it's not, I'm sorry. Even if it's just like, yeah, you know what? That's not what I was trying to.
I don't think he's really capable of doing that. I mean, we're going to play a clip in a minute here where he tries to explain this further. We'll see how that plays out.
His tactic is to not back down and to do what everyone else is not doing, and to just keep at it.
But by not backing down, like, I know what you mean. It's one of the things I like about him. But by never changing what you said, it's like he really is just like the rest of them. It's almost like your whole thing is you're different, and yet when you say something, you have no ability to go, oh, that wasn't correct.
But
none of them do.
The tabloid articles would take.
Who cares?
Saying,
Who cares?
Oh, my bad.
But again, if you're a different guy, you shouldn't care about. Because Trump already doesn't, dude. They already fucking. The Daily News is called. They had a clown nose on him. I mean, you know, he's never going to. The tabloids are never going to be kind to him. The ones that aren't kind to him now aren't going to be kind to him just because he didn't back off the statement.
Exactly. And backing off is just like telling it like it is. It's like you're still telling yourself like it is. It's
Yes.
like, it's not less telling it like it is.
Let me
It's
go,
more.
Let me go to Frank in Providence. I got to move on, Jim. The phones
Thank
are
you, buddy.
fucking lit on this topic. Thank you
Bye,
for
mister.
your call. Frank in Providence, go ahead.
Hi, Frank.
Yeah, hey, Tank.
Tank.
Oh no! Plow right through it. Sorry.
That may not have. Trump's comment may not have come from nowhere. There is a large group of conservative folks who think that McCain is not a war hero. That either, and I don't know the exact details. I apologize, but you can look it up. But he either ratted out his fellow prisoners, or he made more of his injuries than there was. And that's not just like Alex Jones stuff. It's like there are some kind of respectable conservatives who doubt his credibility on that.
We're going to look it up.
But you know what, dude? If you are questioning that, like if Trump questions that, then question it.
Yeah.
Like if Trump came out and said, hey, look, I didn't think that he was a war hero because of this and that. Okay.
Right. Have the facts, and you have a point. You can have your point of view.
But he wasn't saying that. He was saying like, oh, I don't like him. I like people who weren't captured. He was basically saying, yeah. Because that's something that Trump can never be. It's almost like he's the fucking rich kid again. And again, I'm not knocking because he has money, but you're the guy that took the deferments, which is what Jim Norton would have done.
Right.
And when they're saying this fucking man, that's something that his alpha male shit can't handle.
Yeah.
It's almost like there are certain things, anything in business, Trump can out argue. He's a smart guy. He's not dumb. He's a fucking savvy guy. But when it comes to this fucking man was tortured for this country, say whatever you want about it. Trump can't match that.
Can't match it.
And there's nothing he can do. And that annoys him. And he'll say someone's a real hero unless it's used against him. Like, well, this guy's a war hero. And now Trump has to make it like, well, no, he's not.
Yeah.
And then that he put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree. I think he did sound bad there, but I don't think it was as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
Well, yeah, I don't want him to drop out, dude. I'm not saying I'm not.
Off the cuff minor comment, and he kind of took it back.
It's a big one though in the presidential. When you again, this guy just ran for president against Obama. Like this is
it's like 2 elections ago. The guy's nothing now. And I don't think he's not respected among conservatives. So I think Trump was
I like, you know what though? I like him.
I like him too.
Again, this guy has done more than most of these fucking faggot politicians. All of them.
Yeah.
Bill McCain?
Yes, this guy, at least I'm saying as far as a man and in service to the country, this guy has been through more.
Hey, come on. John McCain, yes, okay. So I probably think he actually is a war hero, but he's just a politician who's been in politics for 30 years.
I know.
They're all ruining the country. Every last one of them.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Dude, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that his politics aren't questionable or you could say horrible or whatever you want. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you look at the whole of all of them, he has done something that most of them have not done.
Like his personal life, but then he cashes in. Like they all do.
Well, I
would
would still
Congress and they cash in.
Yeah, okay, but I would still rather.
They all belong in jail. Every last.
All right, dude. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
All right.
But I would still rather have that guy. Like he comes out and not. He was one of the conservatives who was very much outspoken against torture. You know what? I want to hear his opinion on torture because he dealt with it. Me, I'm a dick. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, torture them. But this is a guy who actually went through it and went, no, you can't. Okay. I respect that opinion a lot more.
Because we're supposed to be a better country.
Yeah, or whatever. I respect his opinion because he just dealt with it. I just respect him as a man because of what he did a lot more than any of these guys.
He's got real life experience.
Yeah, man, and he's a tough old motherfucker. He's tougher than most of them, and so you got to respect that.
Tank. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
I want to ask why the voice doesn't match the name.
Yeah.
Tank, you sound like a RAV4.
You sound like a Humvee, Tank.
Maybe it's like when you call someone tiny that's really big.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going
It's
on here with
ironic.
Tank's name.
That's true.
No, my name's Aaron, but they used to call me Hank at the tree nursery.
Oh, all right. My name's Aaron. They call me Hank. I call it myself Tank. Well, that hopefully he's on a wheelchair. Well, I have no arms or legs, so I'm in a wheelchair. I look like I'm in a tank. All right, good. Thanks for bringing the funds.
All right, brother. Thank you. Let's go to one of our regulars, Tommy in Brooklyn. Tommy.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Tommy.
You know, I don't agree with Trump, but you know how he's going to spin this is, would you know John McCain if he wasn't, taken prisoner? And the word hero, I think, is given out too liberally. I don't agree with what he said, but a lot of situations. I mean, the poor cop that's sitting in his car that gets shot, they call him a hero. He's a victim.
Well, it's just.
I think that's
But then when you're growing up without a father, it's kind of nice to think that your father was labeled a hero, though.
Right. Yeah,
right?
what's the harm in that?
Instead of a victim that was just eating a fucking hero sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with that? Like, I know what you mean.
I understand your point, but I'm all right with that.
I'm okay with that, too. It's like all the 9/11 responders. I'm sure one of them went, hey, look, guys, I'd rather not. Hey, you guys go. I'll sit here and watch the firehouse. But they're like, come on, you got to come. He's like, all right.
I forgot something. I'll be right behind you guys.
Yeah, but you know what? That guy went in and he died, and he's still a hero to me, even if who does it apply to then?
Yeah.
If not people killed or injured doing what I'm terrified to do and what's in service of the country, like I think that if it's applied a little liberally, I'm okay if it's applied to a guy who has his arms broken or a guy who died in 9/11. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
It's like, what makes you a hero? A heroic act, or just being a hero your whole life, or just an act?
Caitlyn Jenner's a hero.
A heroine. She's a heroine.
Now I'm with Tommy. That's Tommy. Right. I'm with you. I don't think Caitlyn Jenner's a hero. I really don't.
And I think the difference, Tom, between being a hero and a victim is that you volunteer when you're a hero. Like, even though cops don't want to get shot, you're still signing up to be a cop. It's an awful job. When you join the military, you know what you're in for. Like, you're literally walking into a situation where you go, I could be fucking taken prisoner and tortured or beheaded, and you still go. I don't give a fuck if it's for college or what your motives are. You still do it.
Yeah.
That, to me, kind of puts you in hero category, because the balls you're showing in taking that career choice, I can't comprehend.
And cops working in the bad neighborhoods.
But you know what?
Oh my God, he's talking! The show is over. Tune out. Tune out.
I love Opie and Jimmy, but
you see now when we hear about that all day, even Opie doesn't like him talking on the show.
But
they also go after like my Instagram, which is pictures of my kids, and they're like, "Hey, fat bastard wearing a wig."
Well,
do they really?
Yeah.
Just know they're shitty people, and then you'll be able to sleep better at night.
Nah, I sleep
all
fine.
right, Justin, what do you got on this?
No, but you know what? You're right, Jimmy, that you know what you're getting into when you're getting into the military, and you can be captured and tortured. But then when you're captured, and I don't think these guys, they think they're going to go in and they're going to fight for their country, and they may die. I don't think they think they're going to be captured, held in a cage for 5 years, beaten, have your bones broken, and then you're given the opportunity to leave, but you're leaving your guys behind, and you still decide to stay. I think
that's hero shit.
Yeah, I think when stuff like that happens, then you are a hero.
Yes.
I'm back.
And you were quick, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the clock. 15 seconds.
That was quick.
15 seconds.
If he stayed in there for the rest of his unit, and he could have got released because he was an admiral's son.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
They wanted him to do
another 2.5.
propaganda, and I think he wouldn't do it.
Tommy, thank you, brother. Wow.
Thank you, guys. Happy birthday, Jim.
Thank you, Tommy.
Yes. Patrick in Atlanta. Patrick.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
First of all, I want to say I've always thought of John McCain as a war hero. And I didn't like what Donald Trump said. But that video that I told him that there's a link to, where I hear out of John McCain's own voice, where he says that he broke his arms and his leg ejecting from his airplane, not being beaten.
Okay.
And then there's a whole bunch of stuff in there where they talk about how he was never tortured. He was given information over to the enemy the whole time he was there, and he was treated like gold. And then when he came out in his political career, he did a lot to stall the looking for POWs and those that were missing in action. I kind of question, all right, is this guy really a hero?
I don't think any of that's true. I think if that happened, you would have heard.
But if that's where Trump's coming from, then I'd be fine if Trump said that. Like, I don't think that John McCain as a man can't be questioned. But if that's what you're saying, then say it. Like, you know what I mean? If that Trump's going to say that, then fucking say it. Like, just say it. If you think, hey, man, I don't think... But even if you did break your arms ejecting from your aircraft because you've been shot at... All right.
It ain't like they took him to a hospital where they found him on the ground in the jungle. They fucking tied him up. The arm wasn't set.
Yeah, that's why he's fucked up.
But if everything that guy just said was true, don't you think his political career would have been over a while ago? That people would have been throwing that around for years, and he would have never been able to run for president.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
He's always sold it as I can't lift my arms up because I was tortured and because I was this and that. And then to hear him speak and an old recording say, I broke my arms ejecting from an airplane, and then they go over his history of voting in Senate where he's going against what soldiers' needs are. You sit there and you question, is he really everything that he's always claimed to be?
Well, let me tell you something. 5 years. And anyone knows this. Information, whether it's the military, no one has pertinent information after 5 years.
Right.
No information. It's almost like WikiLeaks. None of the stuff that you have, or as Snowden or any of them, these things that you know, change. So you can't be useful to the enemy for 5 years, dude.
Right.
You can give them as much as you know, but there's no way you're sitting there for 5 years feeding them new info, because you don't have any new info.
Right.
And anything you have is outdated in a few months.
Yes. Kenny.
Did you mention that McCain let other prisoners of war get released before him?
Yeah, I've heard that too. Where he stayed voluntarily.
That's
true. Yeah.
But I guess it's because he was just enjoying his life there of non-torture, feeding info so he could vote against them.
Crazy.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. By the way, it has been brought to our attention that Trump got the line from Chris Rock.
Yeah,
from Chrissy. You were saying it before the show.
He said it years ago.
We got the clip, actually, for the people.
Yeah, let's play it.
McCain just got that old story. This motherfucker been telling the same story for 40 fucking years. He a war hero. He a war hero. He a war hero that got captured. There's a lot of guys in jail that got captured. Shit. Look, man, I don't want to vote for nobody that got captured. I want to vote for the motherfucker that got away.
That's hilarious.
That's the same
Of course.
joke.
Wow. Great joke.
It's pretty much the same thing.
So it's funny that all the white people get in trouble for everything Chrissy's been saying. Like he said the thing about the universities in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Seinfeld said it, and he got heat for it.
Well, yeah.
Trump should have thrown his mic down after he said that shit.
So Trump is really just guilty of stealing a joke.
He's a hack.
He's a joke thief.
Now I'm mad.
Huh?
Now I'm mad.
Now I'm mad.
Now you're mad.
Why don't we play the flustered Trump trying to defend the McCain comments?
I heard Trump said that he loved black people, but he hate niggas.
Another clip from Mediaite.
He came up with it.
Let's check this out.
So there you have Donald Trump talking about John McCain. Now, Trump says that he was angry at John McCain because John McCain was critical of him recently. John McCain, the 2008 presidential nominee, not necessarily beloved by the social conservatives. Now, just a short time afterwards, Donald Trump addressed those comments. This is what he had to say about John McCain again.
John McCain at Annapolis for the veterans in this country. And let me explain something. Yeah. And when John McCain calls 15,000 people that showed up in Phoenix, Arizona to talk about illegal immigration, he calls them a bunch of crazies, he's doing a great disservice to this country.
But to finish my question, how should you did not respect him because he was captured? You said, I don't like...
No, that's not the... No, that's not... That's the excuse me. If a person's captured, they're a hero as far as I'm concerned. Unless they're a traitor like Bergdahl. He was captured. He's no hero. But you have to do other things also. I don't like the job that John McCain is doing in the Senate because he's not taking care of our veterans.
Yeah, there you go. Trying to fix it.
Yeah.
But you didn't say that when you said, you know what I mean?
He's spinning it.
Yeah, he knew he said something really stupid. So the fact that he automatically knew he said something stupid, it's like, just say I said something stupid. I'll respect that. I'm okay with it. I don't want you to drop out. I don't want you to kill yourself. Just say, look, I fucking... You don't even have to say I'm sorry. Just say, yeah, that was kind of stupid. He slammed me, so I slammed him back.
But the headlines that say Trump quoted, I'm stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to care about the headlines, though.
Yeah, he's not capable of doing that, even though it's a great point by Jim.
Yeah.
He's not capable. He's a hothead.
Yeah.
He was really mad that McCain said the 15,000 people that showed up for his rally or his speech were crazy, so he went into hothead mentality and said, what's the craziest thing I could say back to him?
Here's the thing,
to make it hurt.
McCain was trying to come at Trump first by calling the 15,000 people crazy because this was in McCain's backyard in Phoenix.
Sure, yeah.
In his state. So he don't want to seem like Trump got more pull in his state than he does.
McCain's not getting 15,000 people.
No, hell no.
Not even close.
And that's in his state.
So that pissed him off in his state. So he calls, them a bunch of crazies.
Yep.
And then Trump, being the hothead,
defended those people who came to support him too.
He went schoolyard.
He went
like,
schoolyard.
All right, well, this is what I'm going to say about you, and it's going to hurt.
He said, "Your mother dead." He went all the way in.
Yeah. Well, when you're
Your
pissed
dead
off
mother.
at someone, you always try to find that one thing that really fucking hurts you.
That's right.
You don't soften it.
Right.
If you're in a battle, you're in a battle. So you'll dig.
You go for the knockout right away.
But it's like he just keeps shooting himself in the foot. It's like dope.
Sure.
You really are like there's something about you that everyone likes. A lot of people like it. I know people say, "Oh, you're a clown," but there's a lot of people who like the fact that Trump is out there just kind of saying whatever he wants.
Mix it up. I'm glad he's mixing it up.
And again, part of times they're going to say things that I don't like or you don't like. So I want to see him keep going. I still support him. I have to.
Look,
I can't not support the guy just because he said something I think is stupid.
Look, man, I'm grown. I can take somebody saying some dumb shit. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
Let's be honest. Not being honest is what I can't take.
You can take it. What's your Twitter?
Yeah. Trust me, they know already. You know how many nigger words I have to block on it?
Oh, God.
I know. And those are just my DMs.
I haven't gotten that yet on Twitter. When I start getting the N-words thrown at me on Twitter, I know.
Oh, first day. You ain't get it yet?
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
First day.
You get the other ones, though, right?
I get a lot of the other ones.
All right.
I get the Jewish ones. I get
some of those
fat
too.
ones, the wig ones.
Well, you should the wig ones I kind of get.
I never get the wig.
It's my real hair. It's not a wig.
Yeah, wow, a bunch of people, Hey, I'm Clucker 220. You wear a wig. I'm gonna go listen to my wife now. I'm Clucker 220. I don't talk like this guy. I don't like to talk like this. I'm gonna go do what my wife says. Fucking faggot, shut
up. These people will literally
let him finish laughing.
I'm sorry. Oh man, it's so real.
I'm kidding.
These people will literally find a picture of my children sitting there with like a sunset behind them, and they're like, "Fuck you, you fat Jew, you fat unfunny Jew, you wig wearing fuck."
What, you didn't get this at Letterman?
No, I never got anything at Letterman.
Were people nice at Letterman?
No, they never knew I existed at Letterman. I was in the background.
Wig wearing Jew.
Yeah, I get that. Fuck you, you wig wearing Jew. Like,
the problem is you have too much hair.
That's true.
You can have too much hair, too.
Yes, you can.
It's beautiful, too.
You are Jewish.
You should start pulling some of that shit out.
I can't. I'm growing along now.
Fuck you.
I'm embracing it. Fuck you, you wig wearing Jew.
You wig wearing Jew motherfucker. You ever go over my head again, I'll kill you. I'll fucking bury you out here in the desert, Justin. You wig wearing Jew motherfucker. He thinks who the fuck he is, doesn't he? You need a sponsor.
Pesci's too good, Jimmy. What are you doing? You're fucking up the impression.
I can
bit.
only do Pesci good,
Oh
yelling
my God,
Jew
it's pretty
motherfucker.
good.
That's only it.
That's pretty good.
That's only it.
Let's, we might as well play this out and do the Montel Williams clip. Might as well.
Yes.
This is getting a little attention today. Montel Williams from his apartment.
Yes, let's go to usedtobirelevant.com and see what Montel says. Tired of him, too. Cares. Fucking stupid chappy from fucking... What's that Iron Eagles shitty movie? Enough already with that.
He's looking more and more like Chuck Nice, too. What's going on with
really
Montel Williams?
Tired of his fucking Lewis guys. Mayonnaise! Yes!
Yes. Even better.
Chappy.
Oh, fuck. Montel Williams slams Donald Trump for mocking John McCain's service.
No, he's military.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
My in-laws' home in Tennessee. And I have to take a second to say, listen, any military person out there right now who can hear my voice, you need to say right now to Donald Trump, knock it off. You just crossed the line. If you think you have the right, when you never put on a uniform, your children didn't put on a uniform, you haven't fought to defend this country, you think you have the right to besmirch the character of a true American hero in John McCain. I have never agreed with John McCain's politics, but I will never, ever, ever besmirch that man's character for the dignity, the valor, the heroism that he displayed by wearing his uniform and then being captured. And for you to, in any way, shape, or form, make it appear that he did something wrong, you are besmirching the character of every soldier that has fought for your opportunity to run for president there, Mr. Trump. And right now, you know, I'm dealing with Amir Hekmati. Are you trying to say that it's Amir's fault that he's being held in Iran right now because he wore our uniform and he got caught? Say what you want about a lot of things. You have no right whatsoever to ever besmirch the character of a soldier.
God, why'd you say besmirch 30 times, Montel? You had me.
It's the word of the week.
Should have made that half as long.
Wow, that's Montel Williams meaning business.
But he is right, though. It's like you never put on a uniform. Like, you know, hey, look, and again, I never did either.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to love what the military does all the time, but to question these guys, it's like, come on, man, that's a scare. I was over there briefly under great protection, and I watched. They're ballsy, crazy motherfuckers. Any of them.
They're real men.
Yeah.
Real men.
Yeah.
All right, Montel.
Montel was pissed, huh?
That's it. Just tapped in his. If George Bush Sr. said that, it wouldn't have been as bad because again he got shot down.
He serves.
Yeah.
CNN. I said very clearly he is a war hero. Trump said.
Yeah. Afterwards, just again, I said very clear after you kind of gave it as an aside, and he made a face, by the way, when you watch the video and he goes a war hero. He shakes his head. No, stop it. This is what's annoying me. Just admit you said something fucking stupid.
But once again, he's getting all the fucking headlines.
We got to get back on immigration, though. They're trying to deflect this into something else.
And I don't mind him talking about immigration.
And all these other candidates cannot get fucking on the news.
Who cares about a Rubio? Nobody else matters. They don't matter. They say the
Rubio.
Same shit. No one cares about them. But that's what we're going to end up with.
Ruby Soho. What do you want? Okay.
No, I didn't understand that, but I just
Ruby. Oh,
I just looked ashamed at my friend.
Play Ruby Soho in a break,
play
please.
it. Play it, you wig-wearing Jew motherfucker. I'll bury you, Ace. I'll fucking put you in a coma.
I was shoehorning this. Who cares?
Oh, this boy.
Are we really going to play this now?
I'm queuing it up.
You don't want me to play it in the break?
Now, what is this?
It's just... No,
let's play the whole song in the break.
Do you like this song?
It's Rancid. Of course I like it.
Oh, yeah, we'll
You're
play it.
fucking rancid.
I don't know if Jimmy knows the song.
I do not think so.
We'll play it in the break.
I shoehorned the fuck out of it. I understand, but... It was based on a... Oh, what am I doing?
Why do they call it shoehorning? That's the Seinfeld bit. Why do they call it shoehorning? It's not like your shoe makes a horn noise.
Yes.
Pretty good,
College
Jim.
campuses was right about him.
They were right. He's offensive.
Before the break,
yes.
Remember we talked about the man who got a atomic wedgie and died?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We had a man
Fighting his stepfather.
He was fighting with his stepfather, so he gave him an atomic wedgie. Remember the atomic wedgies from school?
Yeah.
Is that our generation? Do they still do the wedgies?
Oh, yeah. No, not as much. He
Not
pulled
as much,
the underwear
right?
over the guy's head and choked him.
All the way over the top.
Of his stepfather's head?
Yeah, they had a bad relationship.
I'll say.
Guy died from an atomic wedgie. Well, the sentence has come down. 30 years in prison.
No, it is not.
For an atomic wedgie that killed a man.
Well, they said they had a really cantankerous relationship, and the guy was an abusive. This was the stepfather, and he started it with this young ex-Marine, I think, by insulting his mother or whatever. There was a whole lot of personal. This wasn't like a fun wedgie at a picnic.
Davis said he knocked down his stepfather and then pulled the elastic band of underwear.
Oh, he knocked him out first?
Knocked him down.
Oh.
Then pulled the elastic band of underwear over his head and around his neck.
And then it choked him to death.
Yes.
That's the worst way to go. Your last breath is your own ass crack.
Yeah. You're smelling your fucking taint. Oh no! The last thing you do is you feel your own asshole hair on your lip.
Oh my God.
That's the last thing you want to feel is your own asshole hair on your lip.
Smelling your own swamp ass. Yuck.
What?
30 years.
That's not good.
Yeah, and he had a bad relationship with this guy to begin with, so.
Yeah, that was one of those things that usually is not the first argument you have.
Yeah, but why did they give him 30 then? They weren't hearing his side of this, huh?
Could he not take the underwear off his own head?
He still killed a man, but maybe you knocked down the sentence a little bit if this guy was an asshole to him to begin with.
Yeah.
No?
Yes, I would. I mean, if it's abusive, but you still can't turn to violence. If the guy didn't hit you, he was just saying shit to you, you going to jail.
There was his mother, though, or something. There was a whole... I don't know what the family dynamic was, to be honest.
But they convicted him and gave him 30 years. That's brutal.
Oh. All right. Well, why don't we take a break? We got who's up first? We got the director, Benjamin Statler from Soaked in Bleach.
I'm really mad I didn't see this because it sounds very, very interesting.
Talking about the death of Kurt Cobain all these years later. There's still questions.
I didn't even know it was a conspiracy. Like, people thought he was murdered. I never...
Travis, what do you think? Gut. Did Kurt Cobain commit suicide? What's your gut feeling?
My gut is that he did, because that's just what I've been, told and accepted for 20 years. But at the same time, for 20 years, I've also known all of these facts. So it's like,
What's the number one fact which makes you go, wow, that's a rough one?
Number one fact.
Too much heroin in the system?
Probably. Yeah.
That's what I go to as well.
Somebody else shot him up, didn't they?
That and the note.
And the note's all over the place.
It looks suspicious.
Yeah.
The last two sentences, like in crayon. That's how different it is from the rest of the fucking.
And it's a lot larger. Like it's an add-on.
And the audio tapes of Courtney that Tom has, like, they don't make her look good.
Oh, what is she? Okay, I've never heard those audio tapes.
You should really watch the film.
I would love to, man. I was just too busy helping this week.
I know,
being
you're
good.
such a good boy.
Giving.
And on your birthday weekend, too.
On my birthday.
And she pushed the narrative that he was suicidal. What happened in Rome?
He did as the Romans did.
But
what happened in Rome? A lot of things happened in Rome. They crucified our Lord and Savior. You Jew motherfucker! Thanks for nothing. You took Barabbas. You Jew motherfucker. You go over my head. I'll leave you dead in the desert, Barabbas. You fucking herb tarlic-haired Jew motherfucker.
Oh, the boy still got it.
Oh my God, it makes me so happy.
He OD'd in Rome, but they're saying that it wasn't a suicide attempt.
It wasn't
Kurt
part
Cobain.
of the suicide narrative until after he killed himself.
And she pushed that narrative that he was very suicidal.
Like, well, he also did it in Rome.
And people close to Kurt said he absolutely wasn't suicidal.
Yeah, well, that I kind of have an issue with the people that they interviewed in that documentary. Those are all friends from Aberdeen. Like they weren't around.
Oh, Kurt fucking kicked them to the curb back in
way before this.
88, 89 maybe.
Maybe he wrote the note
Tops.
and then got higher and realized he wanted something. Again, maybe he wanted to say something else at the end. Who knows? When you're about to blow your brains out and you're fucking doped up on heroin, who knows how much worse your handring gets?
Yeah. It's completely possible.
Yeah, that's possible too. That's why I want someone to argue the other side of this that really is in the know.
Well, the film, like the director, and I'm sure he'll say this when he's in, they're not looking to blame anyone or to say that he was murdered. They're looking to reopen the investigation.
You know who we need in this?
Who do we need?
We need our favorite coroner. The handwriting didn't match, Sam. It was different handwriting.
Jim C is back.
Yeah, he had enough heroin to kill 10 men in the system. Detective Monahan, I need you to go and look at the body. Quince, I'm playing cards. I'm also Speed from the Odd Couple, Quince. All we need is Al from Happy Days, and we got the whole crew together. Maybe he can play a pedophile in the new series. I don't do casting.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right, we're going to talk to Benjamin Statler, the director of this film, Soaked in Bleach, after the break. And then a little later on, we got Josh Gad coming in to say hi. Our old friend, we met him back in the day, Book of Mormon. Now he's just a massive, massive star.
And by the way, Phil Rudd got arrested again. Does anybody know why?
They won't say.
Okay. I wonder if he just broke the curfew.
Unless there's something that came out today, because I was following that over the weekend.
Yeah, he posted bail. I think it's about
he did something
violating his probation.
Something.
But what did he do?
I don't think he's supposed to be drinking alcohol or doing drugs
or leaving
He's
his
fucking
house.
zooted.
Yeah.
Because
he was to leave his house?
And there was a bunch of prostitutes there, apparently, when he was arrested.
What, again?
Yeah, yesterday.
Again, he got hooked. How do you not love this guy?
So there is an update.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap, if you know what I mean. I hate when they take the song titles. Has he shown big balls? Was he with someone who was jailbait? Lawyers are thunderstruck by Phil Rudd's recent. No, recently said he feels safe in New York City.
There is an update. I'm sorry. Accused of consuming alcohol in breach of a home detention sentence. Yeah, so he was sentenced to home detention.
Jesus, Phil.
But if he's an addict, an alcoholic, that's a rough one.
Go to some meetings. How about this? If you're gonna it's either doing 8 months in jail or staying home in your mansion and jerking off the porn. Just don't drink. I know it's hard, but fucking be a good boy.
But in your house, they have the thing that as soon as you drink it, they can tell that it's in his bloodstream.
They must have something. He's got to do something, or maybe he left the house.
Well, that's a rough one because you could die from withdrawals from alcohol if you're in that deep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alcohol can kill you.
Jim Norton's going to be at Levity Live this weekend, starting Thursday night. How do they get tickets?
Just go to levitylive.com, I think.
Okay.
Or, hopefully it will sell well. It sold very, very well last time. And the material's new. If you came to see me last time, this is new stuff.
Jimmy's always working on a new hour.
Yeah.
Always.
And it's fun to do. I love doing it.
Great. Sherrod's just pitching shows. I don't know how that helps you.
I got to keep more TV shows on.
But I don't know how that helps you with our audience.
They listen to Race Wars on Wednesday, 9 to 11.
There you go. Yeah.
We got Bonnie McFarlane coming on, and we got Yamanika Saunders.
Who's that?
Two female comedians. You know Yamanika, don't you?
I don't know.
Black comedian. She's on the show Funny Women on Oxygen.
I might know. I know. I'm sure by face I do.
She's great.
The feedback on Race War is really good.
Yeah, people love it.
So keep it going, please. When we get back, Benjamin Statler. Stay there.
That's where the Bleach, Soaked in Bleach came from, this song.
There you have it.
I know, but we can't hear the lyrics because this is one of those stupid terrestrial radio mixes. Oh, I hate these. Hi, buddy.
What's up, Benjamin?
What's up, man? How's it going, bro?
Thanks for having me.
I'll tell you what happened. So, Montage of Heck came out. Yeah, put your headphones on there.
If you wish.
And I watched Montage of Heck, which was a nice little documentary based on, Kurt Cobain's recordings and this and that. It was put together well, and we had the director in here, and I absolutely enjoyed the film.
Sure.
And then everyone started saying, fuck that documentary, you got to watch Soaked in Bleach. So I finally got around to watching it, and a really nice movie you made.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what's the backstory on this? You were telling me outside the studio that it's been your passion for like 10 years.
Yeah,
this project.
Yeah, I came across Tom Grant's website at least 10 years ago.
He's the private investigator for the people that don't know.
Who Courtney hired to find her missing husband.
Yeah.
Correct. So.
And according to your movie, Courtney was just going through the yellow pages. And it was Easter, I think? Easter Sunday?
It was Easter Sunday.
And all of a sudden, he happens to be at the office, and it's the only reason he got the case, because who's working on Easter Sunday? But she's going through the phone book, hoping. And even Tom said that she probably called a whole bunch of places, and he lucked out because he happened to be working on Easter Sunday.
Wow.
So he got the case.
So that's who she got, yeah. And Tom just happens to really care about the truth and wanted to get to the heart of the matter. So he pursued it, and when he saw some red flags, he started recording everything, which we include in the film.
How many hours did he record?
I think it's hundreds total. So I haven't heard the bulk of it.
Wait a minute, so she hired him because her husband was missing?
Yes.
On Easter Sunday?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's when he killed himself?
Well, I don't think he did.
Oh, that's when he died, around that time.
Tom believes it was probably...
He just messed up his whole movie.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's just like watching it in a movie theater. I'm screaming at the screen.
Well, I'll give the spoiler alert right now. I just think the investigation should be reopened. It's that plain and simple. There's nothing to hide. So we're trying to make it out to be something else, but it's just simply saying the investigation should be reopened.
You're convinced that it's a homicide?
Yeah, that's my opinion. But again, everyone has their opinion and speculation. But what we know objectively is that the investigation should be reopened.
So you think it's a homicide? So why would Courtney Love be the one calling the guy to find him?
Well, we can all speculate on that.
Like she tried to make it seem like she cared?
That's That's a lot of people's speculation. Yeah.
Okay, I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
White people sneaky. You
Well,
already
maybe
knew that.
if you're involved in something that's criminal, and you have to say, like, where's my? That's the normal thing to do. You would call in someone to find your husband.
Yeah,
So.
you want to throw him off the scent there, Sherrod.
Yeah, but you call the cops though. You don't call somebody you find in the yellow pages.
Maybe she was embarrassed. Maybe she thought he was alive and getting high. If she didn't have anything to do with it, like, say she thinks he's alive and getting high, and she wants him found quietly and not by the cops.
Well, and that's a key part concerning the cops. She actually did put in a missing persons report with the cops. And she said she was Kurt Cobain's mother, which we have in the movie. You hear that on the recording. She admits that that was her. And that actually, I talked to Norm Stamper about it in the movie in our interview, and he admitted the missing persons report would have biased his investigators when they came upon the scene, because the missing persons report said that Kurt fled drug rehab, purchased a shotgun, and may be suicidal in that order. Whereas the facts are he had gotten the shotgun before going to drug rehab for protection. He was scared for his life. And he had it loaded with 3 light shot shells. Which is, that way, with a light shot shell, if you kill a burglar, it doesn't go through him, through the wall, and kill the love of your life.
Right.
It kills the burglar.
Yeah.
It stops.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So basically,
What was the first thing that made the investigators? He's still alive?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Tom's alive. He's the star of the movie.
Oh, okay. What was the first thing that made him go like, ugh?
Well, I guess, the reason she told him they were having him over, which had to do with the credit card and this and that, it just wasn't at all what she was actually. So he felt like she wasn't being honest from the very beginning.
Okay.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a systematic attempt to give this film low grades on all of the different websites, which is kind of interesting.
What do you mean? Because I know
Yeah, it got sabotaged big time. Unfortunately, it's.
I know the audience is loving it. It's 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics.
It is now.
It's down to like 30%.
On the critics, yeah. It was like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it dropped to like 20, and then somebody addressed it, and they found all the false voters.
Oh, wow.
Like the people voting zeros or whatever, and they didn't have real emails, so they started deleting those. That happened on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's still being sabotaged on Metacritic. I haven't checked.
Wow. So why do you think that's happening?
Same reason. I
the white
think
man.
Exactly. No, well, the theaters all got threatened too. Every theater
Really?
that screened the movie. Yeah.
Who's threatening? The fans of Kurt Cobain, or you think Courtney Love behind it? Or
it was actually, I have the letter. I mean, I got the legal threats myself. It's all.
Wouldn't Nirvana fans want to, be for this? For the investigation to be reopened?
A lot of them, but a lot of them roll their eyes just because of what they were told by the media, which is really the meaning of the title of the movie. Soaked in Bleach is really just speaking of a whitewash of the media, and that's also the main point, along with the fact that the investigation should be reopened, and 2, everything you heard was not true, as the movie shows systematically. So at least give it a chance, watch it and then decide for yourself.
And Courtney's not happy that this movie's out there.
Apparently not. I asked her to be interviewed for the movie. I invited her back in 2013. No response until she gave me my first legal threat after I released the first trailer in 2014.
What was the threat?
It was a cease and desist, basically.
Based on what?
Defamation, portraying her in a false light.
Was it written in blood?
No.
It's Courtney Love.
No.
So how did you get around that? You didn't cease and desist, obviously.
No, This Is America, last I checked, and...
Yeah, that's right. Sit on that and spin, Mr. Trump.
So
there's nothing to do with
it. I'm just simply saying the investigation should be reopened. I would think Courtney would be the first on my side. I mean, the leading forensic experts in the world are saying that her husband's death wasn't investigated rightly. So why doesn't she could really lead this. She's the one that has the authority to get the autopsy report released.
And if she knew that she had nothing to do with it, of course she would want it reopened.
What do you mean? It's not, the autopsy report's not been released?
No.
Why is that?
Never has been. She could sign off on that, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, she has the
She
authority.
could sign off on it, and then it would be released publicly.
Yes.
I also know the ex-police chief of Seattle wants the case reopened.
Norm Stamper.
He's now retired.
Yes.
He agrees that there was some shoddy investigating going on.
And he's
back
in the
the
movie
time.
too?
Really?
Yeah,
shoddy.
he is.
Yeah, he says he would reopen it.
Yep.
Yeah. We actually met with him the night before and told him, what we knew. And he just didn't know. And he was like, I did not know that.
He didn't know?
No.
Wasn't he the head of the fucking department?
Yeah, and the thing is, Norm understood. He told us the story about a chief before that had been a homicide investigator. And the downside of that chief was that he had a tendency to micromanage all of the homicide investigators, which was counterproductive. So Norm did not do that. And I forget how many, homicides it is a night in Seattle.
7.
So,
yeah, they're nice people.
It's quite a few. So, he had his hands full with a lot of things. And I think he views all human life as important. So he wasn't really...
What a fool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said all lives matter and had to apologize.
What an idiot.
There was, according to your movie, there was a lack of blood at the crime scene.
Actually...
As far as, shooting your head off.
You think he got moved? The body got moved?
They're saying there probably should have been more blood there, right?
You don't think so?
Not necessarily. I've heard that speculation. I mean, there wasn't perforated in the back of his head, which is rare. But again, this was a light shot shell, and so it didn't perforate through the back.
Okay.
Where did he put the gun? Was it in his mouth or under his chin?
It was in his mouth. Yeah.
Kind of sideways, right? Jeez. Off to the side. The shot went.
Well, the puddle of blood was to his left ear.
Right.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you talk about too much heroin in the system to be able to function in any ways.
Way too much, and that's one of the most objective things. A lot of people say, heroin addicts can get really high tolerances, and that's actually an understatement. They can get extremely high tolerances, but according to all the research, Kurt's amount was 3 times the most lethal dose they have record of. And we say in the movie he had 90 times what just a normal person who doesn't shoot up. And then the second time I interviewed Dr. Weck, I was looking at all his records he had, and there was actually a guy who had died from 0.01 milligrams per liter, which would have made Kurt's amount 152 times the amount that would kill a normal person.
Now, how do you know all this stuff if they didn't release? How do you guys know this information if they didn't release the autopsy report?
Well, actually, Tom knew the 1.52 milligrams per liter, which he wasn't sharing, but he knew, and then they finally did admit it last March of 2014, the Seattle police, finally, after all the years of denying it, they admitted the amount and said that it was 10 times a lethal dose.
And you got Weck involved in the movie. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How did he come aboard? Because that's one of the times I was like, whoa, this guy is a pretty serious dude.
He's, in my opinion, the top guy.
Yeah, he's not going to be part of some silly, conspiracy movie.
Yeah, we had Dr. Weck, Norm Stamper, Vern Geberth, who wrote the handbook on death investigation.
Yeah.
Who's here out of the Bronx.
But you called Weck and he decided to get involved?
Yeah, my producer, Donnie Eichard, called the experts. That's pretty cool. And he's from my hometown area. So
okay.
So that was great. We just did a screening the other night with Dr. Weck.
Was he happy with it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he was pleased with it.
The other thing was the death grip on the shotgun.
Yeah, the cadaveric spasm.
That was fascinating. And then with the death grip on the shotgun that Kurt was holding, obviously, the shell was in the wrong place. It was left of his body, I believe. And they said how he was holding the shotgun, this shell absolutely should have went to the right. And there was nothing in the greenhouse where it would have ricocheted off and went back to his left side.
No, it had 15 feet before a wall to that side. So it's basically a physics-defying positioning of the shotgun.
And they're sure that the electrician who found him didn't kick it or something when he walked in? He saw a dead legend? But I mean, that happens. You don't think, when you're finding a dead body, you don't think about crime scene investigation.
Yeah.
Well, the electrician actually didn't go inside the greenhouse.
Okay.
So he just looked through the window. And the first responders had to break the glass to open the door. It was a push and twist lock.
Is it possible one of them kicked it?
So you could have locked the door from the outside, obviously. You could have locked the door and closed the door. Because it was reported that there was a chair in the way.
Which was false, yeah.
And that's false as well.
The stool was on the other side of the greenhouse on the doors that didn't have a stairway.
So who
told that?
Yeah, who pushed that out there, that the stool was blocking entrance into the greenhouse?
That's interesting. I mean, that was planted in the media. And then it was added on the police report that there was a stool blocking the door. But that was confusing because it wasn't blocking the entrance door.
Someone probably just said it. Sometimes these things, someone says them, you overhear someone saying something like, oh yeah, there was a stool blocking it. And then all of a sudden that becomes the story. They print it and,
Yeah. Well, we were told there was a stool blocking the door. That is, his head was so badly damaged they had to, he left his driver's license out so you could identify him. That wasn't true. I mean, the police had pulled his driver's license out. Pretty much everything we were told was just false.
Wow.
So
fucking disturbing.
Well, they make sexy stories sexier to the press. Sometimes they just get it wrong.
Yeah.
They just get it wrong. I'm sure Kurt assumed people would know who he is. He's in Kurt Cobain's house, and he's it's like, who else would it be?
Well, you would think the media can get it wrong, but the police report?
Well, they're pretty much admitting at this point it wasn't investigated properly.
Not even close to proper. That's like Dr. Weck says. It's really a textbook of how a case should not be done.
Well,
and like Vern Geberth, one of the many lines that we just couldn't fit in the movie, but we'll have a deleted scene someday. But Vern talks about the victimology of an investigation, which is where you talk to the people that were close to Kurt. You have to interrogate them. And that on average should take about 3 weeks. And they discovered the body, I think it was 8 a.m., and they announced it to the world it was suicide at 10 a.m.
2 hours later.
But is that, and I haven't seen the film, is that a crazy announcement when you find a guy sitting there like with a gun in his hand?
It's insanely negligent.
Okay.
It is so improper, especially when you have an influential guy like that.
Right.
Because just 2 days later, on April 10th, they had the prayer vigil, and an 18-year-old kid named Daniel went home and blew his head off. And that was the first of 68 copycat suicides that we know of who, in their notes, said this is why.
This is the reason why I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
There's 68 confirmed.
And it's my understanding they make about 20% of total that leave a note. So we're probably looking at 300 to 400 at least.
Possibly that killed themselves because Kurt killed himself. Now, the people that believe it was a suicide, how do they explain the shotgun shell and how Kurt was holding the shotgun?
Or the impossible blood morphine level and a number of other things. What I've found over the years when people come telling me it's a suicide, I ask them why. And I've never heard someone give a substantial reason. It's always, they parrot the misinformation. They tell me he attempted in Rome, which we were told he took 68 roofies, which he did not, not according to Kurt, not according to Courtney, not according to the doctor after it happened. We never heard that until after Kurt died.
Yeah, what did the doctor say again? I forgot that part. In Rome.
Well, Max Wallace, he wrote Love and Death along with Ian Halperin, he talked to Dr. Galetta in Rome, and he asked, did he take 68 roofies? Because if you do that, that's not an accident. And the doctor said, no way. He just categorically denied that he took 68 roofies.
What's Ian Halperin's take on this whole thing? Because he's a friend of ours.
Yeah, we love Ian Halperin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We don't really take him seriously, to be honest with you, but we love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did an excellent job with Max on Love and Death, who killed Kurt Cobain.
Who does he think did it?
I don't want to speak on his behalf.
Rap music?
Well, what did his book say? What was the conclusion that his work came to?
Well, they're pointing towards foul play for sure.
Okay.
So
now you got to talk about the suicide note a little bit. I always thought that suicide note was suspicious, especially because the last 3 lines or 4 lines is just a lot bigger and doesn't match the rest of the note. And what some say, well, that's when the heroin was kicking in, and that's why it's off at the end of this note.
Which again is ignorance. I mean, intravenous heroin, it's like 4 to 5 seconds.
Right.
It's pretty much kicking your butt.
I mean, I heard that it's like that.
Exactly.
You're on the H, bro.
No.
You're doing horse? Sorry, I'm trying to talk like the kids. Doing horse, are you? Okay.
No, content-wise and stylistically both, it just doesn't match up with the body of the letter. And the body of the letter is pretty much saying goodbye. It sounds like to me it's saying goodbye to the career he's presently doing, with Nirvana. And those last 4 lines make it sound like he's saying goodbye to the planet.
He wanted to be taken more seriously. He knew the grunge thing was extremely popular for him, but the Unplugged proved that his voice was ridiculous, and he didn't need to be in the grunge genre.
He was amazing,
and he was pretty much bored with the whole Nirvana thing.
Well, the one guy interviewed, Mitch Holmquist, was telling me he talked to Kurt. I think it was in the last month before Kurt died, and he said that Kurt just couldn't stop talking about the meat puppets. And that was really the direction he was going, just going towards the acoustic.
Why is in the note the word "for" circled F-O-R?
I think they were analyzing if they were written by 2 different people. This seems to not be a copy of the original note.
Right.
Okay.
I think they were trying to see if the last 4 lines were similar.
Oh yeah, that's a copy.
No,
I know, but the word "for"
that was after the fact.
No, I know, but why would they circle that? It was just
see if it's similar.
They look the same to me.
Yeah, they
Something
do.
The way they were analyzing it.
So did they ever analyze the ink to see if the last 4 lines were written at a different time than the body of the letter?
I mean, obviously, in those 2 hours, they basically didn't do anything.
And plus, I don't know if you can do like analysis that's within a day or two. Like when you do ink analysis, you probably do it like years later. Like when they do those carbon testing for the Shroud of Turin, but I don't think you could tell if it's 8 o'clock or next Tuesday.
Right. Talk about what they found in Courtney Love's backpack as far as a suicide note goes. That was fascinating in the movie Soaked in Bleach.
We show that in the film. Yeah, there was a practice handwriting sheet, and the experts find that those letters are very similar to the last 4 lines and not like the body of the supposed suicide.
You think Courtney Love killed him, don't you?
I think the investigation should be reopened.
Had him killed.
Had him killed. Not like she came in there herself as like, hold your head up.
Right.
Yeah.
But you think she was behind it. She had the most to gain. She gained the most. Her and that little girl. The baby ain't do it.
Frances Bean was a baby. She was 2 years
so she
old.
didn't do it.
Totally.
So she's off the list.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But Courtney?
And the motive would be that, they were probably going to get divorced, Courtney and Kurt.
Yeah,
and that means her share would be nothing in the end. I mean, she would still get a taste, but not what
Did she
she's
sign a
getting
prenuptial?
now. Oh, boy, did she sign a prenuptial.
There was a prenup, and Kurt told Rosemary Carroll, who was the godmother of Frances Bean, I believe it was March 1st. It was before he went on stage for his final concert ever in Munich, Germany. He told Rosemary to take Courtney out of his will. And so it would have been a couple days later when he met up with Courtney in Rome, when he went into the deep coma from having the date rape drug mixed with champagne.
That's a little
So you think she did that? What do you think? You think she put the roofies in his drink? She Bill Cosby to Kurt Cobain in Rome?
I think the investigation should be reopened and they can find all this stuff
Benjamin's
out.
scared.
That's a white man's yes.
Benjamin doesn't want to be sued.
I know a white man's yes when I hear it.
That's true. That's called tap dancing between fucking firing cease and desist. I don't blame you. It's smart. You can't accuse someone of murder.
I'm sticking with the objectives. That's what we know.
Yeah. And Rosemary...
Obviously, I have my speculations. I'm human like anybody, but we all do. And every filmmaker, journalist have their opinion on this, but we've all heard everybody's opinion. So let's listen to what the qualified experts say and reopen it, and then we don't have to speculate anymore. Then we can, look into it.
I'll let you know right now. If I ever come up dead, a woman did it.
Or an audience member.
Yeah, that's probably only a woman in the audience. I call the cunt.
Are you afraid of Courtney Love?
No.
Oh, no.
No, I mean, I don't see why I should be.
And Rosemary...
That's what Kurt Cobain thought.
And Rosemary was cooperative and then stopped talking to...
Allegedly.
No, she...
Yeah, she did stop talking to him after. She asked Tom if he was recording the phone calls.
The private investigator.
And he said yeah, and
she was done. She stopped.
Why not just say no and do it anyway, even though that makes it not good anymore, but at least
in the film, you got audio of Rosemary pretty much being a bit suspicious in her own right.
And some people are hard on Rosemary. I'm not really there with that. She was between a rock and a hard place to me. I mean, ethically, as their attorney, it was wrong for her to be talking to Tom that way about her client. But I just think as a human, given what she seemed to believe, I think it would have been wrong to have not spoken up.
Nick Broomfield, right?
Yeah, I actually met Nick a couple months ago.
He is a character. I love his documentaries, but he is a character. Yeah. Nick Broomfield. Yeah. He did the what was the name of the Nirvana one?
Kurt and Courtney.
Yeah, Kurt and Courtney. In that movie, he claims that El Duce, this character El Duce,
pitcher from the Yankees,
El Duce, was supposedly hired to kill Kurt for I think $50,000.
Well, El Duce said,
and then in the movie, I know what he said, but in the movie,
what did he say?
It comes across as a goofball.
True. The interesting part was, though, he did the lie detector with Dr. Gelb, who I guess was considered the leading polygraph examiner on the planet. And he said El Duce passed with flying colors, that he wasn't lying, and then he died within a week, just very suspiciously.
He said,
and there was a grassy knoll. It's a very fucking.
And you're not afraid of Courtney Love?
I've been told by a lot of people.
Was he run over by a train? I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, he was run over by a train.
Yeah. But he was a mess, though. He could have died at any second.
Wait.
He was in bad
apart
bad
from the
health.
Dr. Gelb thing, he's definitely not, a very solid type of deal. A lot of people, of course, are asking why I didn't have that. But to me, it was already told about Nick's movie. I say go watch Nick's movie. And Soaked in Bleach, the whole point was to get the professional qualified experts and show that. Because we have seen a lot of entertaining things, concerning this, like El Duce. Mm-hmm. But it really wasn't kind of, the flavor of this movie.
Yeah.
So
wait, who was run over by a train?
El Duce.
That's El Duce.
and he said he was hired to kill Kurt Cobain for
50 G's.
And then a week after,
he passed a lie detector test, and then a week later died.
Well, he might have been
it's a murder investigation. I mean, how can you not? That's a coincidence.
He was run over by a train.
The train came through his living room?
Well, you got to hold the person down to run him over by a train, though. That's a little strange.
It was a weird scene. They think he was held down. He was like, "I'm a man." You see Malcolm X?
Oh, yes.
So his father was killed.
father got killed in the South. You son of a bitch.
And do you guys know about Detective Terry and Kristen Paff?
Oh, I sure do, but tell these guys.
Detective Terry, no.
Well, Detective Terry was with the Seattle police, and he died, I think it was just a few weeks after Kurt. And I think it was a highway ramp. He was pulling off to help some people, and I think they shot him. So it was very, very bizarre.
Wait, who is he, though? Who's that guy?
He was with the Seattle police. I believe he'd been talking with Courtney some. I think Tom, I would defer to Tom to explain exactly.
But that might be just one of those things.
Yeah, cops get...
absolutely. I mean,
maybe
there's
a coincidence, you know?
Yeah, it totally could be. It's speculation. It's just interesting, the coincidence of that.
Well, who shot him?
I don't know.
They never got the guy?
I'm sorry?
They never caught who did it?
I think they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they... I'm not sure about that whole thing. I just thought that was suspicious. He died at the timing he did. And then Kristen died 2 months after Kurt.
Kristen
Paff was the bassist for Hole, who was very talented. And I heard that a friend had said that Kurt said that, Kristen is, such a beautiful soul and very talented, but if Courtney knew, she'd kill me. That's what I heard that a friend said. I don't know.
Were they having an affair, or was it the other one from Hole?
Kristen, that's where I hear the rumors that he was maybe going to run off with her.
Yeah.
Oh. And she was leaving Hole. She came back from Minneapolis, I believe. Her best friend drove her down in a U-Haul. He stayed in the U-Haul that night while she went to her apartment for whatever reason. He saw Eric Erlandson go in her apartment. He figured they were saying their goodbyes. Eric was a guitarist for Hole. Mm-hmm. The next morning, he went up. He was saying, "Kristen, it's your big day. You're finally getting out of here." No response. He has to beat down the bathroom door. And there she is hanging over the side of the bathroom tub with hair and paraphernalia on the floor. And she had gotten clean in December of 93. And this was June of 94. So that's pretty bizarre, too.
You need some water?
Sure. God almighty.
You're a bit sappy.
You seem very thirsty.
I can't believe...
You're probably nervous. You're probably nervous that Courtney's coming after you and everybody else.
I'm not worried about it.
Who knew all this was going on?
Well, I've heard some of these things over the years.
Yeah. I've heard little pieces, but I don't know the whole story.
I never really paid attention to it, I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but your movie, I was definitely... It piqued my interest.
Well, the word conspiracy is used wrongly, too. I mean, conspiracy just
way
simply
too
means,
often, right?
Yeah, and that people basically use it like, if it's not the mainstream narrative, then it's a conspiracy theory. But it simply means two or more people involved in his death. So,
Travis, you got a question? Travis saw the movie. He's a big Nirvana fan.
No.
I'm just trying to make sure we covered everything.
What do we need to know about Cali?
So really nice this time of year?
No.
Going back to Cali.
Michael Cali.
Going back to Cali.
So he was a nanny and an ex-boyfriend. Is that right?
Like that.
Yes.
Of Courtney Love. And,
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nanny for Frances Bean, and I guess he had dated Courtney before.
If your ex-boyfriend is your nanny,
That's
you
a little
making bad
weird.
decisions.
Yeah, especially if he's known to do drugs.
Well, I don't know. Rich Voss makes bad decisions then. His ex-wife was babysitting his new kid.
You had me in Rich Voss makes bad decisions.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
But I never understood that from Voss. But and then the more I get to know Voss, it kind of makes sense.
I wish he'd make other decisions that Kurt made.
Oh, wow. Oh, I do have another question. So they took a lot of pictures at the crime scene.
Right.
And then they didn't develop the rolls of film.
Right.
Why wouldn't you just develop it for your own,
amusement?
Or, just for your own interest.
Yeah.
Like, we should, take a look at these pictures we got today.
And it was interesting, March of 2014, when they said they found the roll of film or were developing it now.
They kind of found it in a file or something.
People have been asking
That's
them.
stupid. If it's Kurt Cobain's pictures, you know exactly where those rolls of films are.
People were asking them every week for 20 years to develop them. So to say they found them is just, that's a bizarre
What was their
statement.
argument against developing them?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think there is an argument for it.
So they're out now?
So they showed, just a few of them to the public.
They released a couple last year.
How many have you seen? Just the ones the public saw?
Just the one, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Rolls
any
of film.
That was Dr. Weck's point, too. If they reopen it, the investigation needs to be handled by independent, unbiased experts. So it needs to be out of the hands of the Seattle police at this time.
What interest would they have in covering it up? Like, because it's a new regime now. Like, why wouldn't most of those cops go, hey, yeah, this was bungled? Like, I don't understand what they're interested in.
Maybe they do know something went on and they don't want to. They protect their own fucking.
I know, but I don't know why cops today would be interested in not just opening this up and seeing.
Well, now they have a new police chief, and it's almost all new people, so I have high hopes they will do the right thing now.
Okay.
I mean, they have no reason to save face at this point.
Right. There's nothing. It's not the same guy that made the decisions there.
It's Kathleen O'Toole now, and they actually brought her in last May. They said to basically clean the place up.
Okay.
So I'm hoping they'll do the right thing.
Seattle, man.
Well, this made me want to see it. I mean, Opie talked about it this morning. I'm really annoyed that I didn't see it, but now I really want to.
Yeah. Was there anything you guys found as you put this movie together, and then your lawyers got to you and said, "Oh man, I don't know. This is going to really be tough on you."
Not really.
No.
I mean, it's all fair use. It's all freedom of speech.
Right.
So.
And was there anything that fit the suicide narrative that was not in the film that you discounted because...
No. I don't see anything that fits suicide, actually. I see...
Chris Novoselic and Dave Grohl think Kurt took his own life. That's a biggie for the suicide side.
Yeah.
Because they kind of knew him.
Depressed guy.
Yeah. They knew him pretty
actually,
closely.
I would love to hear Dave say more. I'm a little confused on where Dave stands with it.
Well, Dave wasn't in Montage of Heck, and I thought that was very interesting that he didn't give his time for that movie, because Chris Novoselic certainly did.
Right.
And then we talked to the director, and
he tried to get him, and he did do an interview, but it was already too late.
Oh, that's what he said. It was
most
too
of the
late.
film had been done already. But it's like, how do you not have? He said, well, it was more about Kurt and his personal life. But it's like, how do you not have
the biggest rock star in America today,
who was in the band with him when he did it? Yeah,
in Montage of Heck, even if it's for a few, like give him a couple minutes. I don't know, just help sell the film more.
That may have been a stipulation. Courtney may have said he can't be in it. Father, who knows? What am I? I don't know. What I'm talking about. I'm just guessing. Why wouldn't you want the guy in there? And I'm just throwing out all these thoughts.
I just found it strange. I certainly found it strange he wasn't in that movie.
He said that after he had finished the movie that he had been working on for 8 years, to go back and put somebody else in the movie that didn't really push the narrative or add anything to it, even though it's Dave Grohl, he didn't really want to do it.
Shots fired.
Travis just said that perfectly. That's absolutely what he said. That's exactly what he
for
said.
Travis, Mr. Paraphrase.
Well, I'd love to hear Dave Grohl's take on
good old copy
Bleach.
and paste.
Yeah, good job, Travis.
No, that's what he said. But I was here that day, and he was rolling his eyes when he was talking about Dave Grohl. And because it's radio, you don't get to see that. But he was rolling his eyes like, yeah, of course he should have been in my film, is basically what he was saying. He was sort of taking the high road with why he wasn't in the film.
Well,
I think.
I don't know that Dave knows, the stuff that Soaked in Bleach talks about, though. I think, people have a tendency to assume they know all these facts, but I don't think they do necessarily.
Right on.
People I met in Seattle who knew Kurt, they didn't know a lot of this stuff.
Right. Anything else? I think we covered most of it.
I think
Eric, you saw the film, Justin? We nailed it, right?
Yeah, I think we got everything.
I think we got everything.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember.
Did Courtney Love ever call you?
No. The only thing I've gotten from her are the letters from her attorneys.
How old is the daughter now?
She's 21.
See, she was 2 when Kurt died, so I guess she's like 23 now.
What's your favorite Nirvana song?
That depends on the day of the week. I love all the Nirvana songs.
If the daughter reached out to you and wanted some information, would you talk to her?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to talk to Frank.
Do you think Chris Novoselic is talented?
Yes. Yeah, I think Chris is talented. Yeah, he was the backbone of the band to me.
Chris Novoselic?
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
He formed the band with Kurt, but all right.
He did. Yeah, he was a steady band member.
If he was that talented, why didn't Dave Grohl bring him along with the Foo Fighters?
Well, I think that may have felt like he was just starting a new thing, and they didn't want to be continuing Nirvana apart from Kurt.
Does Novoselic play at all anymore or no?
Yeah, here and there.
Do you think he's still got money?
He has to.
Yeah, I think he's really well off.
Okay.
Yeah. So. He doesn't really have to work.
No.
Well, Soaked in Bleach, Benjamin, I really enjoyed the movie.
Where can people see it?
Thank you.
You could go to where I had the sheet.
Right now, it's
the
video
website,
on demand. Right? It actually hits iTunes this Thursday, July 23rd. It's on DVD August 14th.
SoakedInBleachTheMovie.com for $5.99.
Correct.
Good for you, man. It sounds really interesting.
Yes. Did you get it in some theaters?
Check it out. Yeah, it was in 30-some theaters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question. Did any theaters pull the film because of this cease and desist?
One theater caved.
One did?
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
Because I read something where Tom Grant said that anytime, I open my mouth and I do a project, she comes out and she threatens things, but she never follows through.
That's correct. It's been that way. So that's what we had to tell everybody we got involved. It's pretty much every time she's threatened, but she won't follow through. If she sues something Tom is party to, he gets to depose her and put her on the stand.
So she never follows through.
Good reason not to follow through.
She hasn't so
Plus,
far.
she's a weed head. She ain't following through with shit.
He's very believable in your film. The young Courtney Love, where'd you get her from? She's quite
Sarah
the looker.
Scott is quite the looker.
Quite
and,
the
and,
dish.
And
Dish?
quite
Oh, yeah.
talented, too.
And you got her to wear that negligee with pretty much nothing under
Right.
it.
Yeah, she's
Let's pull that up. Can we pull her
naked.
up?
I'm helping you get downloads. So
Yeah,
relax, Benjamin. I got this.
No, she actually just got married last year.
Boo!
Boo!
No, I hope this will launch her career. She's a very talented girl.
Yeah, she was good. She absolutely was good.
She's pretty.
All right. Well, thank you, Benjamin.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, check out Soaked in Bleach.
Oh, that's her right there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll soak her in something.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
With Josh Gad.
Oh, that's right. Josh is next.
More with Opie and Jim after this.
Hey, this is Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine with another Dr. Steve Medical Minute.
Hey, Dr. Steve, what exactly is a colonoscopy, and when should I get one?
A colonoscopy is just a test that lets your healthcare provider get information about the inner lining of your large intestine. Since there's nothing more sensitive than the eye for detecting irregularities in things, a flexible fiber optic scope with a light is passed, starting at your awful anus and proceeding through the whole colon, ending in the beginning, called the cecum. This is all well and good, but would be impossible with a colon filled with fecal matter, so the day before, you'll be asked to do a colon prep, consisting of a clear liquid diet and a variety of laxatives to make your colonic mucous membrane squeaky clean.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
If they see something horrid, they can biopsy it through the scope. This is a great way to diagnose polyps, diverticular pouches, inflammatory bowel disease, and even cancer. It's recommended that you have a colonoscopy after age 50 or 10 years before a first-degree relative had colon cancer. In other words, if one of your parents had colon cancer at age 45, you should have your first colonoscopy at age 35. Other reasons to have one include rectal bleeding, chronic bowel dysfunction, or unexplained abdominal pain. As always, talk to your healthcare provider for more information and happy defecating. Be sure to check out Weird Medicine Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Fluid. Sirius 206. XM 103. The show is back.
Dr. Steve's a weirdo. Yeah. He's talking about defecating like it's the greatest thing ever. It kind of is the greatest thing ever, but you don't need to talk about it, I guess.
I love it.
Shitting rules.
Shitting, nutting,
does
pissing.
rule,
That's my favorite three things to do.
It's the exact same moment.
Yes, all three. The trifecta.
By the way, terrible news. Moe Greene died. What was his name? Rocco? Is it Rocco?
Rocco. What's his
Something
name?
Rocco?
Alex Rocco.
Alex Rocco, yeah.
He was
Died.
79 years old.
Yep.
You don't come to Vegas and talk to a man like Moe Greene like that?
I made my bones when you were banging cheerleaders. The Corleone family don't have that kind of muscle anymore. He was banging cocktail waitresses 3 at a time.
He played a good Jewish fella for an Italian guy.
Yes, he did.
He was great. He
He
had some
was
great
good.
lines.
He played Blair, but that's not he's not even known for that. It's being Joe's father in The Facts of Life.
Joe's father.
Yeah. We think my daughter's a lesbian. We're not sure. Not sure. He was banging all the Facts of Life girls. Mrs. Garrett couldn't get a colonoscopy at the table. That's called improving with your real medical history. I didn't know what to do with that. Oh my God! Someone shot Lisa Welcher in the eye. Oh my God, Moe Greene.
Good old Moe Greene.
Good old Moe Greene playing Joe's father. That was so good.
Classic.
Yeah.
Was he a mechanic too?
I didn't like when you said the dog people. That offended Tootie.
How do you remember that?
We got Josh Gad coming in a couple minutes, but we got to do the Cosby real fast. Bill Cosby in deposition said drugs.
He was raping cocktail waitresses 50 at a time.
The latest that is coming out, they're saying it's devastating for the Cos.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby in deposition said drugs and fame helped him seduce women.
Sure.
And that he absolutely
me too.
was paying off some gals and that his wife did not know.
Yeah. I knew that. I knew it was speculation or rumor that he even paid for Robin Givens' education at Howard or Harvard or wherever she went.
Draw roofies for everyone. We're all going to play on the house.
Howard.
No, Harvard. She went to Harvard.
Oh. Probably should have went to Howard.
Whoa.
Race Wars, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock.
But yeah, he's been in the mix, man. Drugs, yeah.
Yes. Bill Cosby admitted, where was that little thing there? Admitted to all of this and more over 4 days of intense questioning 10 years ago at a Philadelphia hotel, where he defended himself in a deposition for a lawsuit filed by a young woman who accused him of drugging and molesting her.
Yeah, and he was dismissive about it, too. He was kind of like cocky out here in the deposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is the Cos, and she's...
The Cosby Show actor describes seducing a young model by showing interest in her father's cancer. Jesus. And promising women...
That's not illegal.
Mentorship and career advice before pushing them for sex.
That's the casting couch, ain't it?
I mean, that's not. It sounds not nice when you put it like that, but that part of it is just
That's
what
Hollywood.
a lot of people do.
Cosby acknowledges he paid off women to keep his wife Camille from finding out about his philandering.
Well, they wanted to pay him off, but then he's like, no, you don't buy me out, I buy you out.
At one point,
you think you can come in here and take my casino?
The attorney for Dolores said, I think you're making light of a very serious situation, Mr. Cosby.
Yeah.
Cosby responded, that may very well be.
Yeah.
That's some rich man shit right
Bill
there.
Cosby don't have that kind of muscle anymore.
That is some... Oh, wow.
So what happens now, do you think? His wife leaves him? Or everyone...
Nah,
Where's she going?
She's too old to care about
She going back on the scene? She going to eHarmony? She ain't going nowhere.
Going on eHarmony.
She going to make him a plate of food and shut her fucking mouth.
You slap Mrs. Garrett around? She was licking young teenage girl vaginas 3 at a time. You slapped Natalie around? She was eating cakes and pies 3 at a time. Players couldn't get a dessert at the table.
This New York Times article is terrific. He talked of the 19-year-old aspiring model who sent him her poem and ended up on his sofa.
What was the poem? That's what I want to hear.
Where Mr. Cosby...
Roses are red, violets are blue, and then a bunch of Z's.
Wow.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a little tired, but lay down. On
top of you.
I'll lay down on top of you. Have a drink. Terrible Cosby, that is.
But a great rapist.
He sure was.
So, 19-year-old gives him a poem. She ends up on his sofa where Mr. Cosby said she pleasured him with lotion.
That's old school.
How do you get that
It
fucking
puts
done?
the lotion
Jesus.
on the penis. It does this where it gets the cos again. It puts the lotion on the... Put the fucking lotion on the basket. I usually don't work blue. Put the fucking lotion on the penis, lady. I normally don't work blue.
Oh, my God. My stomach hurts.
Yes. Roses are red, Richard Pryor was blue. He did drugs, but I'll rape you. Fucking creep.
Oh, my God.
Holier than thou creep. Fucking jerk off. I don't use the F word. Or the C word. Consent. Fucking asshole. I don't understand the N word. No. Oh, E-Rock passing notes.
We got Trump audio.
Wish that was one like fucking Cobain wrote.
Cosby spoke with casual disregard about ending a relationship with another model so he could pursue another woman. Moving on was his phrase. So, I mean, that happens.
There's one more good thing.
Oh,
we all know he cheated. I mean,
he cheated like nobody.
His wife said they had a rough patch.
Super crazy thing.
They had a rough patch, I think.
That's a whole
His
marriage.
wife said, yeah, for the whole time she was incarcerated in South Africa until she became the South African president.
No.
She has a Mandela hairdo.
You have the wrong.
You said she got the natural?
Yeah, it's just, the way it's white now, I'm tired of Camille, too. Just come out and admit your husband's a piece of shit. Sickness and in health, I get it. You're very loyal. He's a creep.
She's either really stupid or they had some kind of a understanding.
Yeah.
That
Both.
he ended up obviously taking too far, but
sure.
She doesn't come across as being that stupid.
Oh, he could clearly fuck who he wanted to fuck.
Yeah,
Camille had nothing to do with it. He could clearly see somebody and fuck him.
She gave him the blessing for that, you think?
Yes, but the raping, nobody can bless you for rape.
Well, do you know what that argument must have been like in the house? You didn't tell me you were raping them. I thought you knew they were all asleep. Why did you think they were all vomiting into the carpet? Didn't you notice they all felt queasy? William Cosby? That's how he knows he's in trouble.
Yeah.
She must have heard the stories, though, at some point. Way before us.
Come on. Mr. Cosby said he tended to refrain from intercourse because he did not want women to fall in love with him. To him, he said, the act of sexual intercourse is something that I feel the woman will succumb to more of a romance and more of a feeling, not love, but it's deeper than a playful situation.
Or he didn't want, plus he probably didn't want the chance of getting them pregnant.
Right. As far as he and Miss Constant went, he said they were playing sex. We're playing petting. We're playing.
Petting. Yeah, I like a little heavy petting.
There's something really good coming.
Was he in love with her? No. Yet the association endured for a few years until one night at his Pennsylvania home when Miss Constant said Mr. Cosby drugged and molested her. Mr. Cosby said he gave her 1.5 tablets of Benadryl to relieve stress. They kissed and had sexual contact. Her lawyer said she believed it was a much more powerful drug. Sometime later, after Mrs. Constant had moved home to Canada, Mr. Cosby spoke with Miss Constant's mother on the telephone. The mother, he said, was upset about what her daughter said Mr. Cosby had done, describing the experience as a mother's nightmare. In the deposition, he said he was worried that Ms. Constant's mother would think of him as a dirty old man. During the call, Mr. Cosby told the deposing lawyers he wanted Ms. Constant to tell her mother about the orgasm so that she would realize it was consensual.
Yeah, I guess he made her come, or she faked coming, or she came, or whatever it was.
Tell your mother about the orgasm. Tell your mother how we talked, he said.
My father always says that.
Wow. You can have an orgasm if you're raped.
Yeah, that's no control.
What the fuck is he talking about?
I guess you can, technically.
I'm sure. It's just physical.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
It can physically happen from rubbing up against somebody on the subway when you're on your way here to a radio show in the morning.
Please, you're preaching to the choir. It happens. I don't even need. I just do it on the fucking on the platform. I just rub them as they're getting off. Or knuckles on my dick. Excuse me, pardon me, sir. It's just you and I. Excuse me, pardon me, sir. I just keep saying that. Excuse me, pardon me. Is he there?
Yeah, let's get Josh Gad in here.
Yourself.
You don't make a man like Josh Gad wait like that.
A big star, this Josh Gad.
He's a good kid.
Okay, we got some good Trump clips too. Trump's doubling down on the McCain stuff. Josh Gad, my God.
I'm not going to get it.
My God, Josh.
My favorite room.
Thank you very much.
Loving the sideburns.
You're on the air, by the way, so you know.
Yeah, got the burns popping.
You guys started without me?
We've been just yapping for a while.
What's up with the sideburns? For a movie?
I'm going to tell you right now. It's because I'm playing John Popper. No, it's not.
That was pretty good, though.
It does look like him, though, doesn't it?
I like it, though. I like the look.
Thank you. I am doing a movie right now that requires it, and it's unfortunate because everywhere I walk, people are like,
why do you look like Elvis in his worst years? It's like the bloated, about to die.
Yeah,
Elvis.
you look like you're shooting on the toilet scene today.
Yeah, it's really dark. It's really dark, and I apologize. And on August 6th, I'm going to shave them, and I can't wait. Maybe I'll come in and we'll do like a whole event.
We
where
could do
like,
that. Who are you playing that you have to have the sideburns? You can't say yet.
I'm doing a movie called Beauty and the Beast, based on the book and the movie Beauty and the Beast. It's actually incredible. It's going to be like a big budget version of the animated musical that Disney's doing, and it's pretty remarkable.
Nice, good for Josh.
Yeah, he's
Good
come
for
up. He's on the
Josh.
come
You're
up.
having a hell of a run, Josh Gad.
It all started here when you guys first invited me on for a little show called
Good Mormon.
That's right. And we bonded, and America got to know me. And they were like, we don't want to know him anymore. And you guys shoved me down their throat. And look at me now.
Here's how you know Josh is just being humble, because I've been here a lot longer, and America doesn't know me. Josh is just being nice. Yeah, Book of Mormon, it's amazing how that launch, because I think so many people that have the ability to make things happen, but I sound like my aunt's not a showbiz person, but the right people saw that, and guys like you and Andrew, they saw how talented you were. And
you were the standout, Josh.
Thank you.
You and
Andrew Reynolds.
Andrew, yeah, he was great too.
He's like my brother, and the two of us.
Everyone was great, but you guys were definitely the standouts.
It's so weird because you never think that theater will translate to enormous success, in film and television, and that show just had all the ingredients. And you got to do a plug for this new show. It doesn't need it, but Hamilton has truly changed the face of musical theater, I think, forever. And if you can get tickets, go see. I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm hearing about that. I want to go see it.
Guys, it is the most extraordinary thing.
Didn't the president's daughters just go see it with the president?
The president went to go.
Yeah,
The day after I went. It is, and it's only in like its fifth. It's only in its fifth show or sixth show.
That's
at that
bananas.
Point. It is unbelievable.
What is it about?
It's about Alexander Hamilton, but it's the stories told through hip hop.
Oh, okay.
And it's really second only to a movie called Pixels.
You've been taught well, Josh.
Yes, that's coming out this Friday. That is not about any political figure, but it's about your childhood come to life.
Before we talk about Pixels, I asked for an apology. I haven't seen Comedians yet. And my mentor in this business, Brother Weeze, fucking loves it. He goes, bro, you gotta check it out. And I still haven't.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna,
I should be watching this
I don't like
thing.
the bullshit. If I'm not plugging something that I don't love, I don't really push it.
Yeah.
Comedians is, I will say, surprisingly, amazingly wonderful. And it's a shame more people haven't seen it because it's some of the best work I've done. Billy is masterful in it. I think he's on another level, and I hope people give it a chance because it's done now, but you can still watch episodes.
Wait, is it done for the season, or are they actually not coming back with it?
Well, we don't know, but
it's
it's done for the season, and it really was one of those shows that just built and built and built, and I was even surprised watching it at how good it was, and because when you're in it, you don't really know if what you're doing is working, and it's just great. It's just great.
Do you feel like there's like too much stuff to watch that's good? Because
I do. I think that it's
like something like Comedians. A few years ago I would have watched no problem, but it seems like there's just so much now. Quality stuff is what I'm saying.
It's a tricky time because it's a wonderful time because there's an abundance of amazing quality television, and
and there's a lot more places where you guys could go for your projects too.
Yeah, it's crazy whether it's FX or HBO, Showtime or Netflix, YouPorn. There's so many.
That's where I upload my stuff.
Yeah, is that what are you binge watching these days on there?
It's just myself on video. I'm really pompous. I'm a narcissist.
So
I bring it up though because the more I talk to people about the Comedians, people love this show.
I'm telling you, I get stopped all
FX.
the time, and people are like, they're surprised. They're like, Comedians, I was dreading that, and then I watched it, and it's phenomenal. I'm like, well, thank you for being so honest with me.
Why do they always have to add that part? Why can't they just say I'm watching and it's recorded?
I know.
Assholes.
They always have to add that assholery.
But I also think that's a way of praising a show too. Like if you're telling someone, like, look, I went into this not expecting it to be, and then it was so amazing that it won me over. It's like that's a kind of a compliment.
It is. You start at the bottom, and then there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, okay, great.
It's like compliments I get after a woman leaves my bedroom. Like I was expecting that to be awful, and it was just mildly horrendous. You know what? The FX might stick with it though, because even if a whole bunch of people like Louis is not watched like Friends was, but I think they understand when they have a great or well acted project.
It's very special, and they've been incredible, and I hope there's more stories to tell, because what it's about, and I think this is what confused people, because people were like, I don't want to see another Inside Show about Hollywood. It's not about that. It's about a younger and older guy in the workplace being forced to work together, and what that generational disconnect is. And it's such a great story. The story is really only second to that of Pixels.
Yes, I've been hearing
my
about
new
this.
film. Let me tell you something. Again, like with Pixels, this is a big budget tempo movie that when you're shooting it, you have tennis balls in front of you that are supposed to represent Pac-Man and Centipede.
Right.
So I didn't actually get a chance to see this film in its entirety until 2 days ago. It is so freaking fun, and so, like, for those of us who grew up in the 80s, it's just an acid trip.
What's it about?
Well, it's about these guys, me, Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Peter Dinklage, are these gamers in the early 80s. And as part of a collection of items that NASA is sending out into the universe, there's this video game competition, and a tape of it exists, and they put this tape into a capsule, send it to space, and they want to, make contact and say, this is what we've accomplished. And instead, what they wind up doing is starting war with this alien race who comes down, taking on the form of said video games. It sounds insane, and yet somehow in the hands of the brilliant Chris Columbus, who created so many iconic movies in my childhood, from Goonies and Gremlins to Adventures in Babysitting and Home Alone. It works. It just works.
How is I love Peter Dinklage. How was he?
The best. We were shooting, and it was at the same, it coincided with the last few episodes of Game of Thrones season 4. And it was so surreal watching, Tyrion Lannister on TV while looking over and seeing. I was really geeking out. I'm like,
I believe it.
How's this happening? Why are you doing this?
Isn't he from Jersey?
Yeah.
He's one of those, usually it's British people who come here and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were like Gary Oldman.
Right.
I was a fan for 18 years and I realized, oh, he's from England. But this way, I actually thought he was British, and then I heard him talk.
Peter's got a great British accent. I mean, the guy is just an amazing actor, and he rocks one of the greatest film mullets of all time.
Yes, he does.
He really does.
Are we hitting all the games? All the ones we grew up loving?
I didn't even know.
Qbert?
By the way, Qbert. Yeah, Qbert's in it. All the big ones. Donkey Kong, Asteroids.
Oh.
I didn't even realize how many games were represented until I saw the film, and they all make cameos. There is literally not an 80s game that is not represented.
Because someone's going to be pissed off.
Somebody would,
What about Centipede? You guys, you forgot Centipede.
You guys, Pong deserves its place too.
Josh, I was in the newspaper when I was a boy. My first bit of press ever when I was 13 for playing Asteroids for 10 hours.
Is that right?
It certainly is.
Show the clip.
There's no clip. It's just a picture of me.
That's what I meant. The clip from the paper. The press
There's
clip.
a picture of you?
Yes.
From at 13 years old.
Are you in
How did I never see
King
this?
of Kong?
No.
You should be represented.
How great was King of Kong? I know we're talking about Pixels right now, but is that a great documentary?
Oh my God! Well, that documentary shares DNA with this movie. Seth Gordon, who directed that, is a producer on this film.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's got it's just got the feel of that '80s nostalgia. To it.
Asteroids, not Centipede.
Where's this picture? I keep hearing.
I don't know. It's a newspaper. It wasn't. I didn't think it was going to. I totally destroyed the show.
It was in a local newspaper.
Yeah, Jim Norton local newspaper. Ed.
That's amazing.
That's all right. 13 years old, 1981. It's all right. It's not worth.
Here's what's really sad about that. I was born while you were doing that.
It's sad for me, because here you are in gigantic big budget movies, and I'm still holding on to the glory days.
Don't be upset.
I'm telling you, if they ever bring back the 49ers Bengals Super Bowl and they let me play a video game, I rose and fell in 10 hours. Yeah, man, I was 13. I used to play all the time. But the video games, people who are again, a lot of younger people don't realize the obsessions for cell phones. That's what it was like for those games. You would just go to the arcade, and that was your every day, all day.
But it was an exhibition sport too. People would gather around, and watch people like you play these games and try to top the high score. That was an event.
They would stack their quarters on the top of the machine.
Yeah, and there's something sort of sad now that it's such an isolated, like gameplay is so isolated, and you now have like, those little headphones that you speak to somebody in like the other side of the world on.
Right.
I miss that sort of socialization that was involved. And even when Nintendo came out, we used to have Zelda competitions at our house,
Yeah,
and I sort of miss that.
They still kind of do it, but in a larger scale when they run out the Staples Center and you see these guys compete with these yellows.
Do you remember what was that movie, The Wizard? You remember The Wizard?
Yes,
right?
with
Fred Savage.
Yes.
So good.
Didn't see that one.
Yeah, that's classic.
What was your favorite video game growing up?
Pac-Man Galaga, tied.
Miss Pac-Man or regular Pac-Man?
I love Miss Pac-Man as well, but regular Pac-Man was... I had a brother who's 10 years older, one who's 8 years older, so I was sort of lived through it with them. And then I was obsessed with Tetris, like unhealthily obsessed with Tetris. When Game Boy first came out, I would sneak it into my math class. That's why I'm so stupid. And cannot do simple math without my fingers.
We're still trying to find the Norton press clip.
It's not a big deal.
You got to see it, though.
I don't believe that it
Jimmy's got
exists.
glasses on, and
I don't believe that
he's
it
got
exists.
hair. And
Yeah, it's just
we used to find that.
Nick DiPaolo told me I looked like Adrian from Rocky when I was a teenager. And I
believe
did.
that.
I really did. But the video game stuff, man, it's like it was like you would just go there and you would. But the difference between them and now is like you couldn't just talk into a headphone and insult people because they were around you. So you had to stand next to your opponent. It was just a really cool social thing to do.
And watch your quarter as it's moving.
Yeah.
Closer and closer to your turn.
And arcades,
quarter.
arcades were sort of like nightclubs. Like they were cool for a little bit. Like people would, that's where they would go to drink and just have fun.
Well, we would run off to the bowling alley, but we really were going to the game room.
Right.
Because for some reason you couldn't really tell your parents that you were going to the game room. They were cool with you going bowling, but not as much going to the game room at times.
What was the big game on television too? I just saw a documentary on how Atari fell at they had like 80% of the market, and they died after everyone blamed the ET game, but that was a whole bunch of stuff. That
The
just
Atari-
the ET
but
game
that wasn't that. Yeah.
The Atari joystick was a fucking nightmare.
The ET game
What's a
sucked.
nightmare?
I know.
It would always
I've never
break.
played that.
Oh, it was so simple. It was just the ET on the front of the
Do you
fucking
guys
bike.
remember Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the
Of course.
first time I ever used cheat codes. I could not fucking get past that. Who's it?
Not Glass
I
Joe.
can't remember the second to last one before Mike Tyson.
Oh, we're going to find out in a second here.
It was, he had a crazy name.
People are screaming at their radios right
Like-
now. They know, but I don't remember.
Yeah, what was it? Like,
We'll find it.
Is that-
And look at the graphics, and that wasn't that long.
that was great. Tecmo Bowl was another one. Contra.
Oh, Tecmo, I loved.
Oh, I loved Contra.
Contra was
Contra was
crazy.
great. You have the spray gun.
Oh, Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
So simple. That
Pitfall was great. I
By
used
the
to love
way,
Pitfall.
Duck Hunt was Wii before Wii was even like, like that was really advanced.
Yeah.
Is Punch Out in pixels?
No, Mike Tyson would not give us permission. What? It's really.
Did you guys really try?
No, not to the best of my knowledge. Although a pixelated Mike Tyson would have been pretty great.
Was it?
But all those Duck Hunt is.
Okay, you found the.
Was it King Hippo?
No, it wasn't King Hippo.
No, that's Eric. Not you.
It was like a crazy name, like Monkey Bone Dick Face or something
Was it
really weird.
Soda Popinski?
Soda Popinski.
Soda Popinski.
Soda Popinski.
Jesus, that takes me back.
I could never get past Soda Popinski.
Yeah, and you would think that you could beat him easier than the guy right before him.
Yes.
Yes. That's
And
why
it-
it could piss you
That
off.
guy, right?
Oh, he was crazy.
Can you see the
Let me
screen?
him?
So,
Soda Popinski.
That's Soda Popinski.
So the way to beat
What a
Soda
dick.
Popinski, you have to anticipate when Soda's going to uppercut you.
Right.
Put up your block. He will freeze.
By the way, are we noticing that Mario is
I just saw
referee.
that.
Is a
Yeah.
ref?
It looks like it.
He's giving you the way to beat Soda Pop.
Yeah.
Maybe come in here and we'll we'll
let's do
get
it.
you over
Yeah.
this. We'll get you over this.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's been like in my nightmares for the past 25 years.
If you put up your block, he will freeze in a crouching position. You throw a body punch for a star. A super uppercut used in round one will send him into the canvas automatically.
Isn't it amazing how
gotta...
like the graphics, like you look like that was, it's always acceptable when you have it.
Yeah.
And then when you look back on it, you're like, what a dope I was to think that was fun to play.
But at the time, we were like, how did they do this?
It was amazing.
Yeah. And you were convinced they were never going to, improve on that.
But there's something I miss about the simplicity of those games. Like, now I play modern games like those incredible Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
And I literally, it's like I get lost in the world. I literally get lost. Like half the time I need a GPS to find my way around the world because it's so vast and they don't, like, you can't just go from point A to point C.
Yes.
You have to, like, make pit stops at, like, CVS along the way. And
Are you still playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? No, that's a fun game.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Was that a song? My mother bought me that because she really wanted me to get. My mother, when we first got a family computer, she thought this would be a fun thing to do, and I'm like, Mom, you really don't understand what I'm going to do with this computer, do you? But that was, there's the picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found it. We'll put it on our Facebook page if you haven't seen us in a while.
You really do look like Adrian.
That's me, and that's Ozzy Osbourne in the other photo because he bit the head off the bat. That was the same time.
Oh my God! Funniest.
Isn't that
what?
And Jimmy was in the paper basically with Ozzy Osbourne.
You look like Shirley Feeney from Laverne and Shirley.
You got to retweet that today, Jimmy.
Yeah, video game obsession.
That's crazy.
A lot of people want to see that.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, I'm a huge fan of yours, and
I'm a huge fan of yours.
I got excited about the Sam Kinison thing. Are you still going to do that?
We'll see. The new script just came in. A new script just came in.
Yeah, they're working it out.
Here's the thing: since I've been talking to you guys, that's been in development,
a couple of years
and
now.
the thing is we want to make sure it's perfect. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it.
Yeah.
There's too many Kinison fans out there. And the story is so wonderful that it's sort of like there's so many elements that need to be right.
Did you read the book?
Brother Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
incredible.
I mean,
if you talk about him being a preacher and all that?
Yeah, that's what the movie's about.
Okay, if you just make the book based on that, the movie based on that book,
that's
it would be great.
That's what the approach is that, like, it's about sort of that, this guy who is, he's railing against this religious hypocrisy while at the same time he comes from this world of his father was a preacher. So it's great. Larry Charles is still attached to direct, and we'll see. We're just trying to make sure that it's perfect.
Oh, good for you.
There's a certain way of communicating. Like when you look at the way Kinison talked, or the way he addressed an audience, it's like some people just what a gift to be able to talk like that. He really was awesome.
Do you practice the scream in the shower?
I always practice the scream,
just in case.
That scream, by the way. Actually, if you haven't seen Pixels yet, right?
No.
I preview the scream in Pixels a little bit.
Okay.
There's a little glimpse of it.
I don't know why we didn't get to see Pixels ahead of time. That would have made this interview a little easier.
Well, it turns out you don't watch Josh Gad projects like comedians, do you, when they're readily available?
That's a good point. I think after Olaf, if you want to be honest here, I needed to take a break from Josh Gad. I got the two.
That's right, yeah.
You did the message for them last time.
Yeah.
And I got Olaf cursing. I think it's...
that's going to be worth a lot.
I think it might be worth a few pennies.
That is actually.
But after Olaf, I think I had to take a break from you, Josh. They saw that movie maybe 200 times.
I had to take a break for myself for a little while. I went into rehab after that.
Are they going to make a second movie? There's rumors about that.
No, it was announced.
Oh, it was announced officially.
You're really behind on this.
Yes.
All right.
It's official.
It's official.
No one else knew in here it was announced.
I told you that.
It's really going to be amazing. All I can tell you is that it involves White Walkers, and it's going to be a little darker than the original. But
yeah, and maybe what do they call the wall? The Night Guard.
Yeah. Yes.
What a good show.
Olaf is on Game of Thrones, by the way.
Great.
I don't understand how they're doing what they're doing. Like every week is like a $100 million movie.
And don't they not get? They haven't won anything. Like Lena Headey got nominated.
She did this year.
Yeah, she just got nominated this year.
24 nominations.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have they won anything yet or no?
I'm not on Game of Thrones. I don't have the answers for any of your questions about this.
I don't know if they've won.
You are confusing me with Peter Dinklage, who's also in my movie.
I would love you to be on Game of Thrones. That would just kind of take me out of it, but I'd still enjoy it.
I've asked Peter if I can take over if Sam leaves, or be like Sam's American brother.
Oh, and raise the baby?
Right, yeah.
Raise the baby.
I'll raise the baby.
I respect that.
That would actually be great.
You step in?
Just 3 men and a baby all of a sudden in like a spin-off of Game of Thrones.
I would do anything in that show.
What are you oh my godding? What's happening?
Holy shit.
What?
Frozen worldwide.
Oh, that's not even. Is that a phone number or is that something else?
$1,274,000,000.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep. Did you get a taste of the merch?
From afar, I saw it at Target, and I was like, I wish I had a taste of it.
The only reason I ask, our friend Lewis Black is Anger in Inside Out, and I asked him, and I cannot believe you guys don't really get a taste of that action, just a little bit.
They don't think corporations don't say that though. They don't go, "Hey, good job. Here's a few extra bucks." They just don't.
No, I understand, but across the board, they don't really pay anyone for the merch.
Do you get a piece of Opie dolls?
Well. No, but maybe I should try to.
Absolutely. We're redesigning them where you can put your hands on the hips and really get in there from the back.
Wait, what happened? What happened to the Opie dolls? What? No one told me that.
Yeah, you wonder if Henry Winkler got a piece of the Fonzie ones with the thumb. Remember that? The Fonz, and the thumb would go up when the little switch in the back.
Here's the miracle. By the way, here's the miracle of Inside Out is I now have my daughter quoting an angry Lewis Black. Yeah. That is the accomplishment. Like every day she comes up to me and she goes, "Thank you, San Francisco, you ruined pizza." And I'm like, my daughter's quoting filthy Lewis Black. This is amazing.
And I love how Lewis gets angry at the most unimportant thing. Why is the Kleenex always crumpled in the hotel? Lewis, pick better targets. Losing your mind. Angry at the oddest stuff.
You made the Olaf character. You should get that's unbelievable.
You know what? I'm going to have you negotiate my sequel.
No, but it happens across the board. It's not just you. That's it. I was surprised by that.
I think you should start a campaign against actors not getting enough for
Eddie Murphy might. Guys like that, like guys that have been doing it for so many years. Like maybe after a certain point you can negotiate it. But I imagine in the beginning, your first couple, it's very hard to do.
When we were growing up, you didn't have really a lot of merch associated with the kid movies. But now it's all put together.
That's the whole famous George Lucas thing, right? Yeah. Like he got Fox to because they don't want to pay him a bunch up front, so he got Fox to hand over like all of the merchandising royalties to him or the rights, and they're like, this is never going to be a big deal, and all the sequel options because they're like, at the time it wasn't a thing,
right?
And now he built an empire just off of that deal, and after that they were like, never again will we do this. We have to learn now.
Yeah,
people buy toys.
Yeah, the fact that there's a Jar Jar dildo, they're like, you know what, we probably should have not given George this.
Hey, don't diss it till you try.
Oh, I'm not, and I have. Not quite as good as the Chewbacca, because that's longer. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how Lucas, my big criticism of him too is like there was too much made for marketing. It almost seems like too much for kids' toys. But at the times when I was a kid growing up,
not with this one.
Figures,
I mean, this one looks just like it was created for everybody in this room. Like it just feels like it's like for all of us who have been waiting since 1983 or whenever Return of the Jedi came out. It just feels so right, doesn't it?
Right.
This new one. I'm so excited about it.
Me too.
I'm excited about Pixels.
You should be.
When is it in theaters?
This Friday.
This Friday. Nice.
This Friday. And it is, you really have to experience it in 3D. Like, it's one of those movies that is meant for that experience.
Yeah, I would see that. Well, what did I go to see in 3D? I wanted to see in IMAX. I wanted to see the Jurassic Park.
Right.
But they didn't have it. It was only the new Terminator. So I wanted to see an IMAX 3D, and I watched it. It was decent. But
how was that Terminator film?
It was decent, you know. There was a couple of good moments. I'm the worst. Like there was one line that got me a little teary. Like I really am a fool. I'm a fool, but I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it.
What line got you teary?
It won't make any sense. I don't want to blow it. Oh. So it was like one of those lines that I'm like
It's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, not a spoiler, but it's just a nice, whatever. But again, that's a reflection of me being a sissy.
Wow.
Eric Nagel just wrote me, because I know you need to know, after Soda was Macho Man, then Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So you never fought Macho Man if you didn't get past Soda
Macho Man, no, I beat the game, so I must have.
Oh, okay, all right.
I must have.
So these guys, you guys are in the video games fighting the aliens?
No, the video games
out of the game.
have come to life
so that's what I mean.
To fight us. And it's just crazy. I mean, the Pac-Man sequence is edge of your seat fun. The Donkey Kong sequence is insane. It's just Chris Columbus has hit it out of the park with this. It's so retro nostalgic, fun, and it feels like it belongs to that Amblin pantheon. Like when I was growing up, I grew up, I feel like, with the greatest movies ever. Between Ghostbusters, Goonies, Gremlins, Back to the Future.
Great ones.
Like, those were just so fun, and you could all go. Like, the whole family could go. There aren't many live-action movies you can actually all go with your family these days.
Right.
This feels like one of those rare movies where you can.
Can I bring my 5-year-old?
You totally can. I'm bringing my 4-year-old.
Seriously?
Nice. Yeah.
What about my 2-year-old?
Then you're just an idiot. then you're not a good parent. Then you just have a whiny child in the back of the theater ruining everybody's IMAX experience.
Caillou, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Caillou?
Mm-hmm. You got kids?
I actually don't know what Caillou is.
Oh, you're a lucky.
Tell me what Caillou is.
The Canadian bald-headed kid that whines?
No, I don't know this.
Don't ever
stay away from it. Huh?
Yes, don't let your kids
watch
the Caillou.
I
drives
don't.
parents nuts because he's a whiny little.
Really?
Fuck.
Really?
The skinny white kid?
How do you not know Caillou if you're?
Who's got that dumb voice?
Yes.
Is it on Nickelodeon?
I don't know.
We actually are very hands-on when it comes to what our kids can watch, and we're mostly old school. Like my wife and I are like, we're showing them Fraggle Rock and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we're going way back in
Tom and Jerry.
Of course,
my kid is in love with Tom and Jerry.
My oldest daughter doesn't love Tom and Jerry. She loves the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, which I love, like the old school.
And the band Bugs Bunny. Those are the ones.
By the way, showed her Animaniacs. Loves it. Remember Animaniacs?
Oh yes.
Oh my god! It's time for Animaniacs and Tiny Toons. It was great.
My kid didn't get into those two. I love those, but I try to turn them on to it. He's like, nah.
No, I force the issue.
Teen Titans Go and the Sponge Bed.
No,
it might be a little too adult for a 5-year-old.
SpongeBob's awesome, though.
Yeah, I like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is actually for adults.
I watched the show of SpongeBob.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there's some good ones, but not. I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because we grew up in it, but we had the best. Like Smurfs, you can't beat Smurfs. Remember Muppet Babies?
Yeah.
I didn't care for any of those. I think they were after my time.
I loved them. It was after you.
What was your cartoon?
Hated the Flintstones.
Jetsons?
Hated them.
I love the Jetsons.
I like Bugs Bunny. I like the Roadrunner.
Bugs Bunny was amazing.
Yeah, anything with a shotgun blast or something to the skull.
Do you remember what was that Looney Tune movie that Michael Jordan did?
Oh, Space Jam.
Why are you laughing at that?
I went in there thinking I was getting an old school Looney Tunes adventure. That was the first time I think I ever uttered the words at 6 years old, I want my money.
Not a good movie?
Nah, not
rough.
It was
I'll say this.
What was good, though, was the Flintstones live-action movie. Remember that one?
Oh, with Rosie.
John Goodman.
Rosie.
John Goodman, Rick Moranis playing Barney Rubble.
I never saw that.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
They had Rosie play Betty, though. I wasn't for that.
I like the idea of that, though.
Check it
It's
out.
kind
But
of
I
silly.
accepted it.
Josh has to go. Pixels is going to be a big movie in theaters this Friday. What else can we say about it? I think you said it all. Really.
Until Josh came in, I thought this was like just a movie for kids. I didn't realize that Kevin was in it or Dinklage or like this. Now I'll see this.
No, guys, if you love the 80s, you are going to love this movie. It's just a throwback. It's nostalgia at its best.
Good 3. Is it an IMAX?
IMAX 3D.
That's how I want to see it.
You have to.
It looks so good.
Write me after.
You get extra money if we go 3D?
I do.
You get a little extra, right?
That's all I care about.
I'm going to go 3D then.
3D it.
No, honest to God.
Give me a couple extra
honest
shekels.
to God, you really do need to see it. You're doing a disservice if you see this movie and you don't go see it in 3D.
At this point, it's tough to see a movie not in 3D.
Yeah, they're sort of all...
I need to see everything in 3D. They finally figured that technology
I'll tell you what needs to be in 3D, and Justice for All. That Jeffrey Tambor plate throwing scene, I want to feel like they're coming right at me.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It doesn't work when they redo a movie and then make it 3D. It's like they have to remake the movie, because when they go back and try to find it and make it, it's hard to do. Like this is how
how it's meant to be seen.
Yeah, I actually want to see this now.
All right, Pixels, Josh, you're one of our favorite people.
Yes, you're a delight.
Hey, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much.
Come on in anytime you want.
I spend more time with you than my family. I love it here.
And side thing, comedians on FX for real.
Yeah, check it out.
Talking
it's
about
really
this.
good, man.
All right,
Larry Charles, director of Borat, Bruno, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's amazing. He really did a great job.
Great.
So we'll come back and wrap up after this real quick.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Bye.
You want to do a quick?
I'm at Levity Live this weekend, and my Netflix, my special comes on Netflix the 23rd.
Nice.
Contextually Inadequate.
Excellent. And fuck white people. Check out Race Wars on Wednesday, 9 to 11 on this station.
He's killing it. And thank you, Josh Gad. Pixels this Friday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.